All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the Akim that's out there pushing the sincerity and the sound doctrine. All right. Of course, we come in week out to prophesy the downfall of America, or it's called Babylon, aka America. All right. And here to wake up the elect, not all, but the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. The so-called Black, Latino, and Native American. So you got Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulon, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar. Once again, those are the so-called Negroes, the Latinos, and Native Americans. We're not out here for all of them, because not all of us want to get it. Okay, you got a lot of people who it's more 2/3 than it is, the elect. So not all of us want to get it. That's not what we out here for, right? But we out here for the elect. All right. So again, man, another weekend, as you can see, man, you got these articles, you got these news events popping up everywhere, and all types of stuff happening now, man. And this place can just crumble at any time, man. You got the shortages of everything. You got energy shortage, you got food shortages, you got gas shortages, which is up there now. You got gas, right? You got prices in general going up. You got everything on it. You got this new they haven't. It's not really as big as this thing that's going around, but you got the N, which is called the NIPA, whatever it is, But soon we're not going to be able to talk about that, which I usually don't anyway.
We got a shortage of the word coming because they flagging the video.
Yeah, you got. Yep, that's the biggest one. In fact, you got a shortage. Okay. So whoever will bring up.
This is Isaiah 13 and 14. And it shall be as the chase road, and as a sheep that no man takes up.
Yeah, the chase road. Chase road is like confusion, like confused voice. Right. And as we said, all this is going to be is a chase road, man. It already pretty much is. You got police still running around. You still got police around like heavy. You got crime rates shooting up, with police around, still heavy, But then you got a lot of people talking about defund the police, but yet you call them, So why do you want to defund the police? But that's the first thing you call when you're in trouble, is the police. So defund the police, but yet you call them at the same time. Stop calling them then. But you got police presence out here like heavy, right? Still, but you got crime shooting up. So it's like the chase road right now, right? Our people like no justice, no peace, defund the police. Stop calling them, man. Don't call them for your trouble. Don't call them for your domestic abuse. Don't call them no more. Handle that shit yourself. Go ahead.
Right. And it says, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land.
Eventually, the Moabites, so-called Chinese people, the Hamites, the so-called Africans, everybody's going to turn to their own people because they going to realize that ain't nothing here no more, man. They came here for the great big dream. They came to America for the great big dream. But when this place starts folding more and more and more, and they realize that this place ain't nothing, what you think they're going to do? And guess who everybody's going to turn against? This man, the red man, Esau. That's why in that day, man, I'm glad I'm not an Edomite. I mean, in general, because we Israelites, we the chosen seed. But I'm talking about like in that day, I would not want to be an Edomite. Man. I would absolutely not want to be an Edomite. Okay, because that's like the worst thing you could be in that day. It's an Edomite.
Worst thing to be any day. The sun is steaming right now. The sun don't even like the sun.
Yeah, the sun don't even, man. That's something you got a life. What's the word I'm looking for? Something natural that I just don't like. Something that we need really, like a life source. Something that we need for vitamins.
That gives us the UVs.
Yeah. That just don't like it.
All right, and that's something. And the fact that we are sort of, in a way, poisonous to certain animals, right, due to natural oils, which is kind of a good thing because you can have a harmful animal trying to kill you. Esau is missing most of those natural oils.
I'm about to say, anytime you got to put on a fake melatonin shield,
Yeah.
that's an issue. We naturally come with a repellent shield, or a shield that absorbs what we need.
Yeah. Yep. But you got our people. You got our people, so-called Black, Latino, Native American people. You got our people that will side with this red man to come up against us. You know, because that's what this whole BLM is about. That's why we not with those anti-vaxxers and nothing like that. We not with them. Why? Because their purpose of fighting against that, the mandates, is different than ours. We fight against this system because we want to get the hell out of here. Our people fight against the system to continue to live in comfort. They want the normal back, and they don't understand the normal is not coming back. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord is the one that sends evil. You ever heard of a necessary evil? That's what this is. The Lord is not going to destroy paradise, and the Lord made a promise. Remember, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. The Lord made a promise to destroy this place, man. How is he going to destroy anything that's good? You got women over men. That's completely backwards, man. Soon you're going to have dogs walking people, man. You got concrete. We ain't supposed to be standing on this stuff. And everybody wonder why they got back problems, man. I was younger, much younger, with back pain and shit, man. That don't make no sense. Everybody blown up to be big ass behemoths because they eating shit like that, man. This place is backwards, man. Everything about this place is backwards. Right? Y'all got it. You got that.
Oh yeah.
You go ahead and get that. Yeah.
2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1 says, "Know also that in the last days perilous times shall come."
We're in perilous times, man. If you can't see we're in the last days now, especially with all this stuff going on, our people are the main ones that wanted to ignore us, right? We've been out here for years through the spirit of power of the Lord, man. Been out here for years telling, look, there's gonna be pestilences, there's gonna be earthquakes, those earthquakes in diverse places. Now that's a thing where you can say, yeah, there is actually gonna be earthquakes at different spots. But those earthquakes in diverse places is talking about the protests in diverse places. An earthquake ain't nothing but a commotion, right? And you got commotions and wars in diverse places. You got a commotion of protests going on about everything now, man. And through the spirit of power of Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, we have been out here telling our people that this stuff is going to happen. Shortages of food. And we're telling you it's going to get worse. Oh, come on, keep on.
Yeah.
We're in perilous times, man. Go ahead.
It says, "For men shall be lovers of their own self, covetous, boasters."
Now listen to this. Listen, you tell me whether this is going down right now or not. You tell me if these scriptures are real or not, man. Go ahead. Proud, blasphemers,
disobedient to parents.
Come on, man. These scriptures never fail. Go ahead. Unthankful, unholy. This whole place, this earth right now is the definition of unholy, man.
Without natural affection.
Nothing's natural, right?
And natural affection is like cry. People rarely cry now these days. You look on TV, and they might act like it, but you don't see that one tear drop.
Unless you're getting a new car for free.
Something like that. Yeah. You see more anger,
right?
More than anything.
And natural, it goes into love too.
Oh man,
ain't no love
out here, man. You got family members are the worst, man.
Well, shit, you got a lot of people that I ain't going to say too much. But you got a lot of people that so banked on winning lotteries, but that they don't even get the full amount of that. The majority of that's going to be blown away with a whole bunch of shit they're going to buy.
How long y'all want you trying to live that American dream, man? That shit is dead. Gotta get money this, gotta get money that.
The bags.
The bags. Man, look, I be telling Jake all the time, man, look, this shit getting old. You got 40, 50, 60-year-old Jake still doing the same shit, man. Yeah, I gotta get that money though, man. I gotta I gotta make that money. Like, you're 60 years old. You went 60 years of your lifestyle and make a goddamn dime, man. You know, how long you gonna keep lying to yourself, man? You know, but the American way is all about lying to yourself. Yeah, you could do this, you could do that, you could go ahead and make this amount of money, that amount of money. Yep. It's all lies, man. This place is built off of lies, man. And how I just asked again. I just asked Jake, how long you gonna keep lying to yourself, man?
They on the hamster wheel. You know, the hamster wheel.
Hey, the guy was saying, the guy was saying it was true.
Nowhere. Yep. You know, that's a part.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's you know, yep. The American dream. It's a dream. It's a dream. That's the whole point of the name. It's a dream. Something that you want to accomplish, a goal that you want to get to so much. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You ain't gonna do it. It's a dream. It's a dream.
Got it.
Yeah. I got a scripture for you. I'm going to come back to that.
Yeah. Whatever you got.
This is Psalms 49:11. It says, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever."
Yeah, man. You got the American people. That's like a you get Revelation 18 with that. For that, you know, that's a precept to that too. You know, their inward thought. Can you read that again?
Yep. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Yeah, their inward thought is the houses shall continue forever, man. You know, that's America and its people. That's really the whole world right now. You know, you got every country saying the same shit. You know, like I think one of y'all mentioned that, you know, everybody just trying to fight the power now because everybody's in that mindset of, yeah, I'm going to be here forever.
Oh, because China, I'm just going to say it real quick, China is trying to do what Babylon is doing, trying to take over the world.
Everybody's trying to fight for world dominance because everybody think they're going to last.
Yeah, you think they're going to be the next ruler?
Yeah.
The world power.
Yeah. But all those world leaders, they're linked in with each other, man. They all linked in with each other. It's so man. Again, it's a simulation. It's fake.
It says, and their dwelling places to all generations.
To all generations, right? That's their mindset, man. You know, and again, like you said, that's why you got China, you got Russia, you got Afghanistan, and whoever constantly trying to fight for power. You know, all these world leaders trying to fight for power. You know, because again, they think they're gonna last forever. You know, and when they don't know that the Lord's going to intervene for all of them, because again, the Lord is the one that sets this up, right? And the Lord has revealed to us through men, of course, and through the media, that all the world leaders, they all one. You know, you got what's President, what's that guy's name in China? President Xi. That's his name.
It's a different president because they got a new one now.
They got a new one now. I didn't know that. So, but all the presidents, you got Putin. He in league with Biden too. You know, they all in league with each other. That's why you gonna have more. Well, you can't really see that. But you know the
NWO.
Yeah, the NWO.
They're trying, but that's going to fall.
That's going to fall.
Because eventually Putin and them going to go against it.
Right, exactly, right.
The brother here had
something quick. Back up what you said. Jeremiah 50, verse 34. It says their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon.
They're going to plead the elect cause. Please don't mean to get down in this. Please help. Yeah. No, that's a different plea, brother. Oh, you can get that in I'm gonna let this brother get it here in a row. Joel, the 3rd chapter, 1st verse.
It's not gonna be nice for the rest of the people that we are. You know,
Look up, please.
Like the scripture says, he's going to disquiet Babylon. So it's like you said, it's going to be commotions, earthquakes, on a higher level. This is Joel 3:1. It says, "For behold, in those days and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat."
Yeah, so what he's saying, I will bring the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. That's ultimately going into our salvation. He's going to let you know that you did this to my people. All right, go ahead.
It says, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
That's what he's saying, right?
The definition of plead says to argue a case or a cause in the court law, to make an allegation in an action or other legal proceeding, to answer the previous pleading, to conduct pleadings, to argue for or against a claim.
That's sound like court. You know, we're filing a complaint to the Lord for the abomination of this place. So the plea starts with the elect. What does that mean for the other people? It's not going to be good. You know, see, a lot of people, like you were saying, I think a lot of people think pleading is just, you know, on your knees pleading, and you know, think it's going to be all pleasant and nice like this. No, it's not. You know, and we the elect, man, all we going to see around us is nothing but death. You know, that's the plea. We already see it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. A little bit more on this.
It says, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
So you got some of these people who will go and say that, what about the sub-Saharan slave trade? Yeah, but that was a trade before us. But guess what? They still remained who they were. Although they got pushed out of Egypt, a lot of them in the Sudan and various other places, they still kind of, but guess what? That's still something that Esau has done, has stolen people's heritages. But they weren't a chosen people, so what does it matter? It matters is his chosen people, what you did to them. But you didn't take them and bring them all the way across the waters in those messed up conditions.
Yeah, the scriptures say don't remove your brother's landmark.
Nope. But that's what they did even. Yep, go ahead.
No, they took us out there. And all those other captivities we had on land, you know, of Israel. You know, we don't even have it.
And you got our people celebrating Halloween and Thanksgiving. Right. But you look at Sudan, from the sub-Saharan slave trade, they kept their women, they kept their philosophies, their ideologies. They still put their faces on cows' asses and stuff. You know, they kept their tradition, but they make us during the time of the 17, 1800s. I forgot the Reformation. The Reformation is when they wanted to reform Christianity, and they went to West Africa where the Israelites were in Spain, and forced them and said we were heathens because we were doing sacrifices. But that's why the Lord got our ass, because we were doing sacrifices. That is, you know, was nothing wrong with it to a degree, but we was making sacrifices to other gods. That's what was wrong. You know,
That was that's what Columbus came here.
right?
You looked at the people that was here, you know, as cannibals. And that's where the word Caribbean comes from. It means cannibal. You know, and that's what our people was doing. They was going off. You know,
And that's when they came with that Reformation, and they brought that white Jesus. Said they need to follow this Jesus. So they took it, although they was wicked as hell, and put a reformed spin on it. And they knew our heritage and our culture, but then they made it theirs.
Y'all know what they said about Columbus, right?
What?
They said that he was looking for originally treasure before he was looking for land.
Yeah, it was treasure, but it was all together. Yep.
Yes.
That was a treasure. People are considered a treasure.
And so items as far as like gold and stuff like that. It was just that.
No, if that was the case, he would have left them alone and said, "Look, I just need gold. I don't care about y'all, man."
That had slave owners in it. This place is again, man. You know, like we said earlier, this place is one big ass simulation, man. That's all it is.
Yep.
You know, this place is fake as hell. You know, everything they teach is fake. You know, and you got people like I'm supposed to be honest with you. You got people like ICK, besides the IUIC, Polite, all them guys, man. You got people like them that'll bring that Israelite thing, you know, that fake it into the Israelite thing, man. You know.
Also, shalom to the brothers and sisters that's watching.
Shalom.
Oh, it's like you was right. Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. So it's still him.
Yeah, it's still him. I thought it was a different name.
Okay, yeah, bring it up. It This is Psalms 83:3. They have taken craft and counsel against thy people.
That's what you're talking about, that reformation. You know, all the times, man, that our people get conquered, they felt as though that they was beneath them. You know, that's a part of conquering somebody. You know, they call them conquistadors. You know, he conquered lesser people. You know, weaker people.
Yeah, he came over here. He said the native was so nice, and this account, and they wrote diaries. And he said the native was so nice that he could basically get them to do anything. So he said they will make good slaves.
And now they do it because they work their way up through all the times in history. They work their way up to right now, but they don't have to be crafty about it no more. You know, they put it out there. You know, in their meeting, they put out what they're doing. They put out GMO foods. They put out that clip about the Edomite marrying the lamb or whatever. That's out there. You know, they know what they're doing, and they know people see that. You know, some people don't still. That's what they do know. And a lot of people still don't see what they're doing. But it's like they're not even being crafty about it no more. You know? But at the same time still is, you know, they still trying to come to you with these small words. Yeah, to help you this and to help you that. But at the same time, man, they tell you like in your face now, by putting it in the movies, by putting it in your media. Yeah, man, you know, we got you. You know, we got you.
That's what Biden was going at that conference, you know, and let them lose that job. This man ain't even been in the office for a whole year or two.
That's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, this is just out there, man. It's just out there now. You know? So you don't take this, you don't shoot the J, you know? You don't shoot the J and now you gotta lose the dog. It's out there. People ain't gonna go for that. But that's part of their plan too. You know, to create chaos, you know, to ban the abortion thing. That's to create chaos because they know people won't protest about that, man. They want that. But ultimately, the Lord wants it, man. And again, like I said, it's this thing called a necessary evil. This man here is a necessary evil because this place has to go down. I got something for you real quick. It's Nahum 3:1. Oh, woe to the bloody city. Yep. It is all full of lies and robbery. Right. It says the prey departeth not. Which the whole world now is a bloody city because everybody, these countries have taken on the American way, have taken, you know, the American lifestyle. Afghanistan is not going for that. But again, Russia's not going for that either. But again, that's all set up too. That shit that happened over there in Afghanistan, you can't tell me that ain't a setup. Everything about that was a setup. But at the same time, it's the Lord bringing some type of order on this place, man.
Stir things up.
The women over there, man, they scared, man.
I was watching
They probably love it though.
an interview with Putin from on Russia Today. I think they did it as border. You know, he was talking about the way that they putting out different what they call it reverse something. It's reverse something where like if you speak some type of hatred or something like that, they looking at you like you're wrong. You know, psychology. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but that's the vibration that America is putting out there because for years we have been getting on certain communities. You know,
theology or something like that.
There's something like that, and now the people that we have gotten on, they got the power to just move the people out the way. And that's what people were saying. It's like, you see what America doing. You know, y'all changing the form of the family, the house, the man ain't even the man no more. All that stuff.
Well, that's why they set up black leaders in the black community. They want to control. See, there's no such thing as a black community.
Hell no.
They're ran by a white community.
Right.
And the white community set up black leaders to promote different ideologies and doctrines into the black community. Like the church was one of them. Set up some Reverend Jesse Jackson, Reverend Al Sharpton to be reverends over other. See, they understand that Pope Francis is not going to come in the hood, right, and set up a church and tell everybody because ain't nobody going to listen. So you got to set up some of their own. Those in the back of the day were called the tares. Right.
Those are the tares that when a slave owner would, have a child and it came out like him somewhat, they would automatically use him as the tare as a resource to control other black people. Because you got to remember, they still love their young to a degree. They didn't like them having that skin complexion, but they used them. Like Frederick Douglass and several others, they would use them as tares. And that's who formed what you call the boule. The boule was headed by tares. It was never really headed by Jake.
It's kind of like when somebody is a racist, and then you return that race, that they call it reverse racism and stuff like that. Like there's no such thing as a reverse racism.
Right. Right. If you're racist or not. Right. And everybody's racist.
Like you were saying, they use that they put us in these different categories so they can consume us.
Yep.
Eat off the so-called black community.
Yep.
To oppress the poor even more.
Right. And they use our women to do it. This is why they set up BLM under women. Wait a minute. I thought the man was always the leader of the community. But then when shit go wrong, they'll blame us and say, see, it's the black man. But we're not the ones funded. Because Eve make a great servant.
You think what the black woman is, or women in general, as of now, they want to be women when they want to be women. That's the problem. They want to be women when they want to be women. They're strong and equal to me as a man, right? They got mad as shit about that. I don't give a shit. I like when they mad, They strong and equal to a man until a situation like when that train happened. Now all of a sudden the men is supposed to step up and help the woman. Hold on. Oh, I thought you was equal to me. You are me, right? So that means you can take as much as I can, right?
Right. But then they get those big bull daggers, man. But then what the hell they gonna do?
Right. So handle your business. And don't call the police. Handle your business as a woman, a strong, independent woman. Handle your business, right? Don't come crying to me as a man saying, he raped me, he did this, he did that. Tears coming down your eyes. Fake, man. Fake. People in general are just fake, man. Then they throw the feminist flags out, man. You're supposed to be the man. No, you're supposed to be the man. You claim you're equal to me. Because one moment the woman is so strong and this and that, and in the other moment they just helpless pieces of flesh. What is it? Y'all got it.
Yeah. It's still some more.
Okay. No.
2 Timothy.
Again, whatever. We'll bring one.
It says, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accuser, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
See, people can go about shop, enjoy a nice Saturday, which ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But they don't have any clue what's going on. Nobody telling you that you can't enjoy your day, or to some degree at least as much as you can, because let's be honest, if you know what in the world is going on with this place, and you're in the knowing, it's only but so much you can enjoy in this place, to be honest. Because you got to walk around, see, you can't tell what gender somebody is, you got to breathe in this mess up, in that dirty ass harbor, come on, man,
I got the what it was. It was reverse discrimination, and that's just cancel culture. That's what it is in a nutshell. That's what I was trying to say. They're trying to cancel, us for speaking the truth, according to the scriptures, because for many years, like this is something what they think is new.
But this has been something that's been done in the past, you know. You know, I don't even know what the Transformers.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
That's a good one, yeah.
coming about and trying to get their own rights, and you know, the sodomites and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
They're trying to be able to throw a blow, but not have any after effects after. That's why they're coming up with that reverse discrimination, because they want to discriminate against you, but you can't discriminate against.
Yeah, because if you a straight man and you know, you were too phobic,
Yeah, immediately. Where's heterophobic then?
right?
You know? there should be a thing called heterophobic.
Right.
I see, like you just said, we see all these sodomites all over social media talking about straight, you know, how much they don't really like straight people, whatever, straight men. Well, where's heterophobic?
Right.
You know? It's supposed to be equal rights though, right?
Yeah, they get a kick out of trying to turn somebody out, man. You know, I remember when I was in school, man. You know, little girls play try to try out for the basketball team, and then they end up getting turned out, man. You know, all those little girls that end up trying to play basketball end up getting turned out, man. You know, but they get a kick out of that. Once you turn this person out, you don't even want to no more. You know, because it's the thrill of the chase. You know.
It says traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of Yahweh, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins.
And this, you said, what did it just say a few minutes ago? I mean, 2 seconds ago.
Oh.
It said, denying the power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they deny the power of the Lord. How about it's still a shot, man? You know? But they said, when I called, you refused to answer, right? Y'all deny, y'all, and that's why all that stuff is happening. All that stuff that scripture was just now. All that stuff that scripture was just now talking about is why exactly all this shit is happening now, man. Because our people did not have power. It's like,
This is Jeremiah 6 and 14, right? They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people, saying, peace, peace.
Yeah, we promise you
Where there
peace.
is no peace.
Yeah, we promise you peace if you go ahead and roll your sleeve up and shoot the J. You know? We promise you peace, you know, if you comply with the system, right? Right? But it says there is no peace. Okay? So while you think you're living in peace, there is no peace for you, man. You know? That dude, that golden child, right? I remember that golden child came up last year, was 2 years ago, something like that. I think it was last year. And he said, you know, if everybody was just minding it, he asked this question, said if everybody was just minding their business, and it didn't matter what religion they was following, it didn't matter what you know, what they were doing, if they were sodomites or not. He said, well, we still be out here doing what we doing. You know, if everybody was just minding their business, but we still be out here doing what we doing. And we simply just said yes, we would be. Because you want to know the thing is, if you got everybody following different religions, that's not peace. That's confusion. And the Lord is all about. He's not the author of confusion, right? So you got sodomites walking about, we minding their business. But that should be exterminated. So yes, we would be, even if everybody was so-called minding their business. Yes, we would still be out there doing what we do, right? Because it's not peace, it's confusion. Everybody's following whatever it is they want to follow, man. When the Lord is not about that. Okay? The Lord is not about that. Right?
The Lord told us to come out.
That's the command.
We're doing what the Lord told us.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
And even, you know, you got, again, shooting the J. That was peace. You know, it's all good, right? You know, this whole remember last year the shutdowns. Everybody was stuck in the house. Now, piece of safety. Oh, now we can come out. But then sudden destruction. It's the same thing. When they try to conclude the NWO. They shall say peace and safety. This sudden destruction come upon them, man. Right? It's just gonna be sudden. The day of the Lord comes like a thief in the night. That's that same situation. So everybody think, yeah, man, we gonna be ready. This man here, the red man, think he gonna be ready. You can have all your anti-air missile trucks, your ground team specialist teams. You can have all of that. Your tanks. It ain't gonna do anything. How many times your military's tried to shoot down one of the chariots, and the chariot looked like it just took the missile and just deflected it back at? What the hell out of here? What is that?
If I may say, I heard you say the day of the Lord should come as a thief in the night, and I made mention about it. You remember like 2-3 weeks ago that a thief ain't just gonna come into somebody's house for no reason. Right? A thief is planning out like, okay, they ain't there. To go up in there. And I'm gonna take what I need and I'm gonna get up out of there. That's like that guy from with the catalytic converter. You go up in there, you try to take the stuff, and you get up out of there before the people even know what's going on. So that's what Yahweh Shah, he will come when America got their guard down. When they least expect it. Right. And what's the goal? What's the valuable possession? Is elect. That's what he's really coming for, man.
I'm glad you said that because last year when these shutdowns was going around, right, you had a lot of people come out of nowhere and all of a sudden they're just faithful, the most faithful person on the planet, right? Even Israelites, they wanted to step up, and do millions of videos when they saw these shutdowns going around because they thought, oh yeah, man, this is it. Now, where are the videos at? Where are the videos at, man? I'm saying in general. I'm talking about Jake in general. I'm saying I'm equating the Israelites too because we've seen numerous Israelites do that too. Just come out of nowhere and just try to be extra up in the spirit. What about now? Ain't not really much going on now, is it? Well, it is. But I'm saying as far as the shutdowns and you being stuck in the house and all that stuff, everybody was afraid, right? You had a question or you just okay, that's fine. Y'all, whatever y'all got. Continue on. Verse 15.
We teach you're Israelites. We're Israelites. No, well, a lot of you don't. You Jamaican? There's a lot of Jamaicans that know about it, but they refuse to accept it.
It's similar to the Muslim, but we don't do the violent stuff.
Right, yeah, you're Rasta? Rastafarian, okay. Well, that's not in the Bible. No. Rastafarian is not in the Bible. We could have went in a whole blown out lesson on the Rastafarians, but they with their dreadlocks, dreadful locks.
You got a lot of Jake that think that warriors before the long ass dreadlocks. I wonder. That's why in the military they make you cut that shit off. You can't see, man. So you swinging the sword around and your sword gets tangled up in your locks, man. And then your vision is blocked. And you got this dark haze. So you gonna be in a dreadful spirit going out there to battle. You gonna be the first one to get killed, man. They gonna be like, his vision is blocked. They send the weakest link to go up there and kill him.
Just hit him with the bow and arrow. That's it.
He read him real quick. They sit there trying to swing with your eyes blocked.
Yeah, and it grab if you're in combat, you grab your hair, and that's an easy offense for the
Yeah, you can't even fight with no dreadlocks. Yeah. What's that the scripture Paul said? It's a shame. Is it a shame for a long man to have long hair?
Absalom got it. Well, he had a bush, most likely. But it's still, you don't want to have your hair long as a man.
That's what it all comes from, right?
That's a woman.
Solomon, you know,
Okay.
he's the guy.
Okay.
I got the.
Oh yeah, but I didn't know he looked like
Yeah,
that.
I didn't
Put
know
the camera up.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Said,
I didn't know he looked like that.
I'm on the Wikipedia
Yeah,
for Rastafarian.
a lot of them get it from so-called. I don't know what he is. Nationality.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. But he looked like a goddamn so-called Arab.
Yeah.
He probably is an Ishmaelite.
Yeah.
You know, but they had them as slaves, so they pushed that philosophy on them. You know?
It says rosters accord key importance to Haile Selassie, the emperor of Ethiopia, between 1930 and 1974. Many regard him as the second coming.
Oh man. But they used to say back in the day, oh Lord.
It says of Yahweh and Yahweh was his job.
And they always look at a face of somebody as a heathen. Like that Farad Muhammad. That indoctrinated so-called Negroes into Islam, the Nation of Islam. It's a goddamn white man. What is it, Ottoman Turk or something like that? We always follow heathens. That's why the Lord. And then it's Haile Selassie, Negro got a bald face. And notice the heathens were trying to keep some form of hair on their face. Go ahead.
It says Rastafari is Afrocentric and focuses attention on the African diaspora.
So why didn't Brother Polite and said Netta follow Haile Selassie? But they probably would. They follow all kind of African doctrines.
Well, you know what? On YouTube, the YouTube world, all you got to do is follow something weird like that Nibiru bullshit. You know, that's all you got to do is follow something weird.
And people will follow.
You get money off. You know, you get paid.
Oh, you talking about like that Rap the News guy?
Yeah, Rap the News, that guy. You know,
he said Nibiru was coming, and it was a thunderstorm, and they said it was the planet into the Earth's atmosphere. And then he said he's out there, and there's all kind of reptilian-shaped figures surrounded. So he huddled up in a house
what the hell
because of reptiles and shit. I said, man,
he must be taking them goddamn mushrooms, man.
And then he said, even in Genesis, I forgot who he was talking about, Cain or whoever. They're reptile people with large endowed penises. Yeah. I said, what the hell is wrong with these guys, man?
What do you say? They are very well endowed.
But then all you're gonna do is have your woman followers try to follow them and shit. Cause they're gonna endowed reptile and shit. Yeah. You gonna have them lonely woman where the endowments at.
That's some weird shit. I had to put that on the camera.
And then you got this weird spaghetti monster thing. We all know the reference when it comes to
somebody get Colossians 2 and 8.
The reference when it comes to tentacles and moves. We all know who we think of. You know, Moab women. When it comes to tentacles and dealers.
This place is sick. I heard about that, the spaghetti boss, spaghetti deity and all that. I did a video on that years back.
You talking about that? I probably ain't gonna say it.
Oh, the hentai. They call it hentai for Japanese porn.
Sometimes you gotta be careful saying videos. So sometimes they'll flag you for that shit.
For anything, yeah, man. You got it, brother?
Yeah. This is Colossians 2 and 8. Lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
That's a deception. Go ahead.
It says, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, so if you would have stayed, we would have went into the Rastafarian a little bit. I kind of forget that. Yes, I didn't know Haile Selassie looked like that, to be honest. I thought he was some Bob Marley looking guy or something. I don't know.
That's not our,
yeah, like what?
That's not our doctrine to even be going into. You know, like when it comes down to the Muslim faith, you may say certain things and stuff like that they go off on and stuff like that. We're not Muslims, so we don't care about going into that whole doctrine and everything.
He said, "I'm Jamaican. We know about that stuff, man. Y'all don't know because y'all ain't following it."
You know, all the guys come up here and he say, "Yeah, I know."
They don't know.
When you start asking them questions,
they don't know shit.
You rarely have anybody that is in the western parts of the world that actually have a religion that they actually follow. All these people,
Christian too.
Yeah, Christian.
Even guys in the Israelite community. Yeah. They be hypocrites. Yeah, that ice suit. You know, ice suit became. And the guy there called him ice suit. They got everybody lining up for this thing.
Yeah.
But they all want to be Israelites.
You're going to have faith. You know, where's the faith at?
Trust in the Lord with all your heart. You know, why you ain't trusting in the Lord? Ice suit.
God damn, I just realized that.
Well, no, I did a video with a guy who was going against him, called him ice suit. I ain't never heard of that either. Well, I suck. All right, go ahead. That sound crazy.
That sound,
Ice suit.
I think that's the point, though. I mean, so
Hey, he's the guy that say you can sodomize. That's what he teaches. All right, go ahead, brother.
this is Deuteronomy.
Yeah, a lot of people are sick, man. They're pure sick. You know why he told those people to sodomize their woman? Because they were inmates. And they used to that, man. You know, they come out, you'll do anything to beguile the people, right? Like, well, I know you just came out of prison. And they be like, what do you think about sodomy? Yeah, we've been doing it in here. Oh, yeah, just make sure it's with a woman, though. Don't do that with a man. Now you can do that with a woman and be thinking about, Tom Jones or something in the prison.
That's what we doing in
Yep.
Straight out of prison.
Yep. Straight out of Compton.
oh, it's crazy because them inmates, they try to put a man deal with them to shoot the J.
Right.
So that's kind of crazy how they go to Johanna, and Johanna was saying, yeah, go ahead and make that 3-pointed J, man. 3-4 times.
Well,
if you can.
right. Said hit him 3-4 times. And you know what's crazy? He probably got hit with it.
You probably did.
He probably laid back.
A lot of you guys.
The dog said, yeah, I agree with that.
I go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth to the other.
That's definitely this place. That's definitely here too, man. Because you got every nationality of people on earth, but you got them everywhere too, man. Like Paris, certain places like that, man. You got different nationalities in Russia. You got different nationalities in China, Japan, all everywhere, man. He scattered us.
Those rosters, you say that they focus on the African diaspora, right? Which we talk about that, in 70 AD, our people going to slavery and all, all throughout the whole world, right? But they will never go as far as we do, as far as saying that our people don't look like, all the nations that are around us, You gotta be spiritual, because you never know who's the Israelite or not. All right. Just because somebody, is a so-called black man or, whatever, that don't mean that they're right. Yeah. But just because they claim that they Israel, that don't mean that they're right. You gotta, like we said, ultimately, I was trying to say, hypocrites, man. These people are hypocritical. Can you claim to be Israelite but you don't got no faith? You're going against everything that the Lord has set up.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. It says, the Lord will smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
See, this is why, we always say, this is why we always say that these scriptures, they're under, you can't debate. And this is why, like, I said this in the video yesterday. I said this in the video yesterday that you can't debate the scriptures, right? You
cannot debate the scriptures. That's why we're not in those great debates with ISBK, side debtor, and light and all them. That's why we're not with that. Because where's it going to get us? You know, where's it going to get us? Right? We proven.
You had ISUBK that there are more important things other than God.
Yeah, what is that? That proves that they don't have 100% truth, right? Yeah, they don't have no truth, you know. Except yeah, the fact that the Israelites, yeah. How far is that going to take you? I know I'm an Israelite now, but yeah, it's good. I know I'm an Israelite. I know what tribe I'm from, but now what? All right.
What would mean to y'all, brothers, to be an Israelite? The Jew. What would it mean to be an Israelite? Somebody comes up. What would it mean to be an Israelite? This is our heritage.
Our life. It's us, and it's us. Yeah, you know that we know that we're the strongest people on the planet. Right. You know, we have the higher power on our side.
That's right.
You know, we are the chosen. We are the chosen seed. You know, it's everything, man. Like,
all statutes and commandments.
Yeah.
That's great power.
yeah, we have to thank the Lord every day that we're not Esau.
Yeah,
Any other nation.
Being humble. Yeah, and the Lord is saying he resists the proud. Right. But with that scripture where it talks about the one is not a Jew outward, I got the definition of hypocrite. It says a person who puts on a false appearance of virtue or religion. It says a person who acts in contradiction to his or her stated beliefs or feelings.
So you can call the Lord your place, your jalapeno pepper and all that.
But you believe in the whole Bible.
But you believe in the whole Bible.
You ain't need the whole road.
Yeah.
I know.
I believe the Lord. Actor.
Yeah. You can clearly see, who's an actor. The Spirit is going to search it out, man. Through the Spirit that follows God's Son. When the Lord was on the scene, right? Yahweh Son, he knew who was acting and who wasn't, right? And we know through the Spirit of what, we can see when, this guy ain't right.
Yeah. You got, that's why, again, through the Spirit of power, Yahweh Father, he's showing who the men of the Lord are, right? You come up, see, you go up to them. They might have two camps that believe totally different things. But you come up to Great Millstone, we ain't with that, man. So then you ask us something, we go according to the scripture, right? We answer everything according to the scripture because these aren't our words. This world is too opinionated. That's the problem. Yeah. But nobody has answers.
Right? A lot of these people, they think, and Christianity is one of the biggest problems for that too. They think that you're supposed to be in the Roman Catholic, church too. That you're supposed to be this holier than thou person. That's the mindset of the people. You pick up this Bible, you ain't supposed to cuss.
Man, you don't even know what the definition
is. One of the big things, fornication. Are you married to him? You don't understand the scriptures.
Yeah, they hit a music. Like the whole.
Yeah. But a lot of people they think that even as Israelites that think that you're supposed to not have no faults either, man. We realize we're gonna have faults. Different brothers gonna have faults.
Because you know what time period we live in. Right. You know what time period we live in. We not in ancient times. We not in ancient. These times are different, right? This is why it said, the law is not going to save you, right? Because you're not going to be able to keep all the laws, right?
because we're living in a time that's full of unrighteousness and infirmities, man. As, I think 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 12 said, something like that.
Let me get it.
You go off.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you gotta go find a lamb. You know, if you got some people who claim to be Israelites that are Old Testament only. You know, you go off. Now you gotta go find the lamb. For your sin offering. You ain't gonna be able to do. You gotta find a Levite, because you can't just do it on your own. You know.
Another thing too, the fabric that they wear, they gotta wear one type of dark fabric.
Right,
You can't mix the fabric. Yeah. And a lot of them they wear other clothes or whatever. So they're sitting right there. They're out there sitting.
I see something in Romans 2. This is Romans 2, verse 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh.
Yeah. So just because you have the physical appearance of what looks like an Israelite, that don't mean nothing. You know, you got people in the world that get circumcised. You know, that don't mean nothing. You got it.
It says verse 29, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart.
Right. So knowing these scriptures, right? What Yahweh Shai is the lamb that we gotta, is a sacrifice. You know, he died for our sins. Okay, and people get lost on that. Oh, he died for your sins. Like, you don't understand what the whole purpose of it.
He died for whose sins? He ain't died. He definitely ain't died for these people. Right? He didn't die. He didn't die for these people. How would he die for these people if these people are the sin? Right? Now that the only people that can sin is the nation of Israel, right? How is somebody going to sin, go against the law that wasn't even given to them?
Back then, those works that he did back then was for today. You know, we understand that we don't got no lamb and stuff like that to go sacrifice. They had that back then. You know that's a big thing. You've been sacrificing. You're an Israelite from birth. You've been sacrificing. The Lord that gave you a heritage, and then somebody just comes up and say, "No, that's done away with." The Sabbath day, no, chill. The laws, she ain't doing away with no law.
No, you still follow to the back of your building. I mean, times are different, but they ain't that damn different. At least for us.
And the law, it still benefits you. Like people act like by not following, they ain't gonna get no benefit.
For example, like we say don't eat pork. Right? There's a major recall on that too. That's in the spirit. There's a major recall on anything that's pork. Right? Let's just say pork products in general, pork meat in general. Right? But we say, hey, the scriptures tell you that it's not you should not eat pork. It's foul. Right? You should not eat the crab or the lobster or the shrimp because it's the foul for you to eat. Not the foul, but it's the foul for you to eat. Right? But then, then you go and say, okay, well, let me do some research. So let's push the scripture aside for a second, just for a second, right? And go to your library that you got, that everybody got in their pocket, and look up why it's not a good idea.
Right. And you never do that.
Yeah.
When you grow up as a child, right? All you know is somebody just throwing the pork bacon on the plate
and the crabs, right?
Yeah, the crabs.
So then you look up. Okay, let's go into the crab. The pork is the attract, and they got the electrolytes or whatever in the front. But then now let's go into the crabs, right? And lobster, the shrimp. All right, man. Let's go into the crab, the lobster, the shrimp, right? They are meant to filter the ocean. Then you look at all over the news, you see oil spills and how dirty the water is.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, wait a minute. All that dirt that is in the water
crabs are supposed to be eating. Supposed to be getting rid of that, right? But I'm eating whatever the crabs is eating. I could be eating a dead body.
Right.
You know, that's messed up. So then now you go back to the scripture and tell you and explain to you why it's not a good idea to eat that goddamn crabs.
Yeah. You gotta actually do your research.
You gotta do your
know?
research. You know,
The
so
minute that one of us say that we don't eat pork, crabs, or whatever, right? Muslim, Muslim. Like, come on, man. You ain't doing your research. So Muslims the only people that don't eat crab and pork.
Yeah.
They eat shrimp and crab.
You tell them you got Muslim eyes get big.
And then you go around, people looking at this my Muslim brother. Like, yo, don't disrespect me, man. Yeah. You don't know what the hell I believe in. That's all somebody did that. Yeah, you are.
I ain't never had your brother right here, man. I ain't never had no.
Like, god damn, like you don't know what all this time I've been saying we Israelites, you know. This my Muslim brother. Like that shows you that Jake don't fucking research.
And you don't know. I know because I was around the Muslim. You know, for a person I was, around the Muslim for a while. You know, so to say, me and that brother around Muslim for a while, and he pretty much. I really don't think he was a Muslim because he was, he'll go in the back. I know Muslims they got the drug problems too.
Yeah, he was caught. He was caught.
That's a jail, but
he was caught.
But you would see he don't eat pork, which I see he did. But and he was an Edomite too. At least I believe he was. But
he talked just like a Jake, but he was an Edomite.
Yeah, he wouldn't eat pork, but he would eat crabs. Right. So what's the difference? You can lay out the pork, but you're still eating crabs. You're still polluting your body with that shit, man.
Well, you go to the freaking hospital and they have a nutrition chart and they have that shit on it. You know?
And it beat them. It beat them.
Yeah,
it beat them devils that bust that shit, man. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay to eat GMO food. Of course it's okay. Of course they're going to say it's okay, man. These motherfucking devils are the ones that push that shit out there, man.
Right.
Of course they're going to say it's okay, man. Right? Of course they're going to say, yeah. Of course they're going to teach y'all in school, yeah, it's okay to eat pork. Yeah, of course they're going to teach you that. Because they're the ones that push it out there. And then your ass, and then your black ass run into the hospital, because their job is to treat you, not cure you. Because if you stop going to the hospital, business stops. Yep. It's the same. It's the same thing with the jails. If we keep waking up to this, and even as wicked as them other Israelite camps are, they'll still kind of prevent you from going up in that place, man.
Yeah.
Right? And they know, and these people know that as long as our people, especially our young men, wake up, right? They're gonna stop going to them jails, and then business stops. That messes up their society, man.
You just said it. They teach us to eat pork in the health class, right? The teacher, the health teacher, had to have been at least over 600 pounds. She sit there drinking Coca-Cola, eating chicken, and saying that pork, yeah, that's healthy because it's what's that? Nutrients and the protein.
You've been indoctrinated your whole life to the point where when somebody sits up there and say, contrary to what you believe, you take it as a joke or it's not serious and stuff like that, man. I got this.
600 pounds.
Yeah, I was saying like what you were saying about how a lot of Jakes they don't get into the prison system because they still following the other like that. And because they still following to the law to a certain extent. Don't kill your brother. Thou shalt not kill, steal. So for this here those things that can be, that can keep you out of the prison system. But that prison system, that you got certain jailhouse religions. Right. When a nigga get locked up, one of the first things, if they got a girl, they want to try to apologize and do right. And those religions
ICPK and all those people. Those are set up to have people thinking that, yo, when I get out, I'm gonna do right. You still got people going off. But I got this Romans 11 and 12. Now you teach, it's a good thing that they teach it at the Israel. It's a good thing. But what happens after that? Right. You gotta be spiritual, man. You good. Ain't nothing good about coming and trying to take somebody's spot. No, bro's gotta move. Just our spot now. That's some nigga shit. You can't, right? You tell a dick in the world, don't blow your brother away. That sounds like wow to that nigga. Why do I need to do that? Look what he did to me. That's the mindset that these other cats be having, man. Yeah. But that if you put your hand to this Bible, right? You got to believe in the whole thing. The Christians, they want to top up the scriptures. I don't believe in the whole thing. I believe in you got to believe in the whole. That's what the Lord said. The whole road. And what's that? 1 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Yeah. But I got this, right? Romans 11 and 12. It says now if the Romans 11 and 12. Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, right? So our people falling away from who we actually are, right? Because the Lord set us up to be a knowledgeable people. He gave us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of how to run the world. We got wicked people that are running the world right now, man. Okay? It says, now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? So, like you said, somebody comes into the knowledge and they know that they're Israelite, you're shutting down a lot of industry. That's why they're trying to flag our videos and stuff like that. Because we're bringing up the truth about what the wickedness that they're doing. We can't even say certain things, about our, with the video getting flagged. That shows you that this man is the devil. Everybody is. This guy, he hiding the truth. He's the devil. And devil means deceiver. You gotta know that's people in the world are so freaking stupid, Or why are they putting this false? They used to do that, false information. We're gonna fact check everything, You gotta be, but when you sit up there and you say, this man ain't right. Oh, what you a conspiracy theorist? Anything that this man has put out there, and they even got it to the point now where your social. Have you noticed, your friends, your loved ones, are acting kind of strangely? Sorry, put it in.
And I will never forget. I even told y'all about this statement on the the game on the mic. He was 10. I believe around 10, and he said when he gets a lot older, he wants to go around and sleeping with people's wives. I was like, okay, well, why you want to do that? He goes, because it's fun. I'm like, well, how to? That kind of kept me up all night too. I was like, there is no way this 10-year-old young man tells me that, oh, because it's fun, I want to sleep with people's wives.
That's all they promote. R&B promotes that. Promote that dark. Rock, metal, heavy metal promotes that shit. Everybody promotes adultery, and everybody's an adulterer and adulteress.
He goes, I want to people wives.
Isaiah 60 and 1. It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people."
For the longest, man, we have been lost about who we are. You know, on purpose. That's why, you know, we ask the question, you know, what do it mean to be an Israelite? You know, you up here walking throughout this world, don't have a clue as to what's going on. You know, you don't know whether you're coming or whether you're going. You know, don't know what's happening. You're just moving along with the times. You know, and that goes into you being in a deep sleep. You know, so somebody has to wake you up, and sometimes it's hard if you get woke up in the dark, right? You'd be like, what the hell? You know, somebody fucking with me. So more than likely, you know, what we doing, if people don't like it, we coming up in the room and we turning on the lights, man. You know? Yeah. Man, turn up the cool to the thing, man. But they don't like that. You know? This light, man, you like you said, we opening up the blinds. It's time to wake up. It's good to say that. It's high time to wake up out of sleep.
That's like a reaction to, you know, like a more disruption.
Yeah, like, but it's actually for your benefit.
Yeah.
Because we like, yo, wake up, you know. There's a fire coming. There's a fire. There's what's that? Ezekiel 3. You know, there's a storm coming.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Storm coming for your neck.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get up. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what. It's a little bit more here. It says, in gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And that's for the elect. You know, the elect, they're going to see that the glory of it. They're not going to see corruption and not going to perish. But as for the 2/3, they're going to be taken away, man.
Yeah, because what our people, if you sincere, right, you're not going to be just some straight up super grimy ass nigga in the world. You know, when you go, we all kind of went through that. You know, you going through life and you like, yo, hold on, man, something don't seem right. You know that way, right? Like something don't seem right. Like, hey, why they wanna like what you just said, right? But you said, well, see, well, other men wives.
He go, I wanna F people wives, man. I wanna rape people wives.
Which we know through the spirit now that we in the truth, that's not the right thing to do. You know, you may have had some people that may have done that, you know, out of their ignorance, you know. But once you come in the truth and you realize that something is wrong, you don't do it no more. You know, because that's what Yahweh Shah, he set that example because you trespass, you would went to go get a lamb, you know, and had to sacrifice it. Now you have to be more spiritual. You can't do that. You know, because if you continue to sin and you have this knowledge, you put in the Lord's what he did to sin, death to sin. You know?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, you got it.
okay. I had 1 Thessalonians 3. Well, this is 4 and 10. It's and 9. I'm starting 9. It says, but as touching brotherly love, you need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of Yahweh to love one another. And indeed,
Read it there, brother. Speak up a little loud.
Yeah, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 9. It says, but as touching brotherly love,
Right.
ye need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of Yahweh to love one another.
And I think one of the brothers earlier, I think one of the brothers that mentioned earlier that people in general just don't know how to love. Hell, we really don't like that. You ain't seen it. You know, your mother that did so it, your father. You know, Christian is all about love, but then you come into the truth, you expect it to be love, but then you see like, God damn, like there's some work that needs to be
Because Christianity is faith.
Now your mother will show you a certain kind of love. She doesn't know love because you grow up in a world that was built off corruption. Yeah.
So none of us know how to really be happy, how to love, because we know how to love to some degree, especially when we come into this thing. But it's not going to be that same type of love when the Lord comes back and get us up out of here. To that Hebrews 8. So we're gonna be looking back like, yeah, I mean, I was, you know, I'm talking about kingdom, like, you know, yeah, you know, I showed my brother love, but I ain't like this type of love. Like, what the, that ain't love, you know.
Put some stumbling blocks in front of brothers, you know.
8 or 7.
Oh yeah.
Or 7 times.
Hebrews 8 and 7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. It says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. So that's going to be purification. That's what we all going to know. And we all going to be able to love one another. Finally, healing in those weeks that the greatest commandment. Sure is. Yep. I ain't gonna have to worry about trying to get into a great debate over the scriptures, over live YouTube or whatever, man. You know, the thing again, like I said earlier, man. The thing with these scriptures, you can't debate them. That's why we don't get into those great. You name any, you come up to us and ask us any question, we'll pull it in the scriptures. We proved everything. We proved that these scriptures are definitely real, right? We proved it time and time again. We proved it for years, man. The shortages, you know, the famines, pretty much. The famine of the word, the famine of gas, entertainment, all that stuff. We prophesied that we should follow y'all by outside. Social media, you know, your TikToks, your Facebooks, all that, Instagram, that's in the Bible. All this stuff is in the Bible. You know? You can debate. The scripture says debate amongst the neighbor when it comes to doctrine. But once you're fitted in doctrine and you're one body, your body's not supposed to fight against each other. Now, when you're dealing with, let's say, I suit, when they come up, you know, we got to. Paul said, "Contend for the faith." You got to fight for the faith. Go ahead, brother.
2 Peter 1:19. It says, we have also a more sure word of prophecy. It says, whereunto you do well that you take heed, as unto a light that shines in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
Yeah, you need to hold that scripture on deck when they be coming up. It's written by man. You know, you know what the Constitution says. And you were created by man. You know, you were created by men. Everybody on this planet was created by men. A lot of people think, I was created by the woman. No, you were created by a man first. The man plants the seed. Then the woman, you know, developed inside the woman and she gives birth. So you were created by a man and woman, but mainly the man, because you start off in the man. Right. You know, there was no discrepancy on biology when it comes to man and woman, because in ancient times they already knew it was the man first. Right. Everybody knew. Yeah. And a woman creates the mitochondria DNA. Right. This is why you might look like your mother. But ultimately, it always came from the man. The seed. It was always the man first. But not in Babylon. Right. We watch Christians. Are they Christians?
It says, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
Yeah. Concubines. Go ahead.
It says, but holy men of God was about to say, spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. And the crazy thing is, inside of these scriptures, you have these are testimonies, you know. And let me get the definition of testimony, which only men can testify, right?
Let me bring out this.
Men got testicles. Well, women got testosterone at low level. Go ahead, brother.
This is all Numbers chapter 1 verse 2. It says, "Take ye the sum of all congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers." See, the house of the father. So they knew back that seed comes from the father.
Yeah, everything was set up by men. Yeah. What's that scripture they talk about? A woman can speak to the churches. Men started that. You know, men started that philosophy. Men are the ones that men started feminism. Women didn't start that. Men started that. And women took hold of that. You know, do you think that real men are going to allow that to happen? You know? They wouldn't allow that to happen. You know? Right. Got the word testimony, right? And one is what you said about the fathers going to teach the children. You know? It says testimony, a formal written or spoken statement, especially one given in a court of law. It says evidence or proof provided by the existence or appearance of something. So when we read these testimonies, this man has testified. So we need to testify. This First Corinthians 14:34. The Lord gave these men visions, you know, and they wrote down what they saw. It was men. Now, then you have so-called prophetess. You know, you have women in the Bible did great things who might have saw things like what happened with Mary. She witnessed Yahweh, but then she went and spoke on it. But what did she do? She went to men. Right. You know what I'm saying? She went to the Lord. There you go. Those men, they wrote that account down. Mary came, and spoke to us, you know. But that's how we ever see it. Right, but we didn't have to have feminism involved. Right. See, she did a great thing. We didn't have to say that back then. Because it was already evident and known that the man was still the leader. Yeah. So if a woman, let's say a woman went out to the street and saved a young boy, it'll be all over the news. But ultimately, that charge came from the father. She was taught right. Go ahead, read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse
Look at numbers 27 and 15. 33.
It says, "For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints." Let your woman,
go ahead.
let your women keep silent in the churches.
Right.
But it is not permitted unto them to speak.
What it say again?
Let your women keep silent in the churches.
Right.
But it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Keep going.
But they are commanded to be under obedience.
So a woman is supposed to be under obedience. Go ahead.
As also saith the law.
That's the law, but the Christian church don't read that. So why did Paul quote that from the law? Get Numbers 27 and 15. They also say, they shall learn anything.
Oh yeah,
they can read.
Yeah. It says, verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. Right. For it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church.
Right. And also go on Timothy as well, right? You talk about doing themselves the malice of pearls. Right. But you got a lot of excuses that say that changed. That ain't never changed. But that's why you got these churches. Well, it ain't. Okay, never changed. And you're gonna have to accept it.
Too bad, so sad.
And that's too bad. Ugly ass bitch. Go ahead. Now see, this a bold Negro woman, man.
Oh, somebody took some damn chopsticks and put them in his leg.
They're gonna have to accept it, man. You know, and say not now. When the Most High pulled the plug, that's what I meant. That's what I was getting ready to say. You know, as also saith the law. See, the woman. That's how you know the woman is the weaker vessel.
She's the only one that has to come by and make excuses. Even though, like, if you knew, like, if somebody sit up there and say we were Israelites, and we wasn't Israelites, we walked by, okay, we're not Israelites. It's whatever. We ain't got to go back and forth. The women always need that excuse to justify her wickedness or her femininity or feminism. First of all, feminism, if you're a so-called feminist, you're supposed to be soft. But this feminist has raised weak men. Right?
Women have daddy problems, you know. They've been touched, you know. They're damaged goods, man, you know. And they have this mindset that if one person mess up, you're going to take it out on everybody. This is wickedness, man.
This woman is out of control.
Yeah.
And that's because society is, and Jake has put women up on pedestals. Somebody get Jeremiah 44:17. Keep reading that.
Yeah, I got First Corinthians
14:34.
Yeah.
And then see what Paul said.
Yep, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 34. It says, let your woman keep silent in the church, for it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Yeah, so why are there women pastors?
That's why
I heard a woman tell me that was the old days. So when did it change?
And now we
Right.
see how messed up the churches are, right? Because you got women leading.
So if that was the old days, then wouldn't you forget about Jesus?
You got women leading households, man. And you wonder why ain't nobody fucking happy.
You know, why ain't the Pope a woman? At
Right.
a given time, America will have that thing. Oh, of course.
And you know what's crazy is that the men is behind this. The men is the main one leading. These wicked ass Jacob and these weak ass Edomites are the ones pushing this.
Yeah,
this
because
crap.
when they push that ideology, they're funded.
Right.
So they're basically selling out men.
Yep.
Read that Numbers 27:15.
She put a leash on his nuts.
He walking across the street with a strap and a baby in the sack.
Yeah, while she holding
While
that
she's
leash.
walking up in front. Then, hey, Jake Dunn, go ahead.
It's Numbers 27:15. And Moses spake unto the Lord, saying, that the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh,
Right?
set a man, set a man over the congregation.
And so that's why Paul said, as also saith the law. Right? Because Paul was speaking on the law. Look, there was nothing wrong. I don't know what it is with women where they feel that they have to be on an equality level. There's nothing wrong with being a woman. You ain't got to come out here and do this. You ain't got to do the hard labor. You know, you got a gift to be able to carry a seed and have give birth. What's so hard about it? You know, you make it harder than what it has to be. When you got a man that loves a woman, right? They love one another. Although that they're together, he's still the lead, right? But what makes it work? See, in the ancient times, you ain't had to say, well, she's over me and you over. Everybody knew the order.
Oh, here you go.
Well, go ahead, brother.
This 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. It says, but I will have you know that the head of every man is, let me read it verbatim. Christ. Yahushua. Hamashiach. It says, but I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man.
And in the kingdom, in the kingdom, that's why I said the laws is going to be engraved in our minds. We ain't going to be having to come out here and say this because what makes it, like he's going to say, what makes a relationship work? Unity. You know your roles. You know, as a man, okay, I'm going to lead. As the wife, you know, okay, I'm supposed to be his help. You want flesh.
That has to be taught to you, man. Because if you don't know any better or somebody ain't teach you right, you know, you want to be up under your woman, you know, whatever she do, you know, because you got that lack of accountability with women too, you know. Oh, you don't know what she's going through, you know. With Adam and Eve, you know, Eve went off because she went to another man, you know, and brought those philosophies back to her man, you know. That's going on.
But then you got to have accountability if you're a man yourself. Right. You got a lot of Jake who was always blaming the woman. Their ass is messed up, man.
Adam, he blamed the woman. The woman that thou hast given me. You know? Yeah. So what? The Lord ultimately made him do it. Right. You know? Because the Lord had a plan from the very beginning before the earth was even made. You know, so he already knew that Adam was gonna go off, but in Adam's mind, it just played out like he was the one that was going, But yeah, Adam knew not to go and listen to the other people that was around him.
Yeah, he said basically like Willem, he was saying she didn't really know, So that's why I said the scripture saying that because Adam went off because he knew better. Eve, got caught up.
Somebody come back to you with some new philosophy, like I never heard that. It may be true.
Let me get scripture. 1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Give honor unto the wife.
Now they got it to the point where they put women on so much of a pedestal. They say that the men don't have no knowledge. The women got to do what the men according to knowledge.
Yeah, well, the Most High set up women to be over men at this point, right? Because they made the world backwards. It says, "Give honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered." So when Paul said male and female, you all one, you got the feminists get on. I'm sure they on the comment board. See, that proves that man and female are equal. Look, we're not on the level of Yahweh. We're not on his level. We're not on their level, but we're all heirs one together. It's still an order. We're not in this society. You're not level on the police that is set to uphold the law. But you got to follow the law and the order.
Like you said, they think that there is no eligible men.
Eligible means somebody making good money. That's all it means, man.
There's no eligible men.
There's a whole lot of men out here. They're just not eligible.
Wait a minute, explain that to me, because a good man is different from a man with a lot of money.
Right. But a lot of women don't see it that way. They got to get a man that's, I don't know how many figures, but they understand this man in the system. They don't realize that they set them up over us. So if they were so honorable and loving women, why would they say, "Look, my man is beat down. He ain't making much as I am. Let me help lift him up. Here, baby, here's some of the paycheck. You lead because you're supposed to be the leader." No, not this society. The woman, "I'm over you. I make more than you." Hell, and they'll beat you down. And that's why they're laying with their toys at night.
Yeah, that's why they say the love of money is the root of all evil.
That's what it is. That's right. That's a good point.
I got scripture too. This what I was meaning. It says First Timothy 2:13. It says, "For Adam was formed first, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived.
There you go.
But the woman being deceived was in a transgression." So Adam sinned willfully, but Adam knew better.
Right.
But Eve was the one that was deceived. So Adam was supposed to believe and say, "No, we ain't gonna do this," But instead, he followed after Eve, willing, but he knew better,
But the Lord set an example to do that.
Yeah.
But the Lord already knew thousands of years later that the woman was going to be able to get that. That happened in Babylon, right?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 44:17.
That was a yellow jacket.
This said Jeremiah chapter 44.
Every time to get the word.
Yeah,
44:17.
Yeah. This is Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 17. It says, "But we will certainly do what whatsoever thing going forth out of our own mouth.
These are men saying this.
To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven.
Yeah, that's why Babylon today, this is called the Queen of Heaven. It's the same thing.
Got that Jezebel spirit on.
Yeah, but who burned the incense? It was the woman. And then the men followed them. Yeah. They was the one worshiping. The woman was worshiping the Queen of Heaven. And this is what Beyonce is set up to be. She's like the Queen of Heaven.
Even Solomon, he did the same thing Adam did. You know?
He did the same thing.
Hey, some guys, they look at a woman because of how she look, her beauty and all that stuff. That's not really shouldn't matter, man. You know?
That only matters.
Somebody that's attractive.
Yeah, that only matter when he's young.
Yeah. What is it? Stumbling out the beauty of a woman.
Because you'll find out it's better to have quality.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You gotta be attracted to the woman, but her attraction comes with wisdom, and being liked.
Personality.
You found out that all of them looks ain't even know what it's cracked up to be.
Simulation. A lot of them that look a certain type of woman. They got that. They so fucking. You can't even.
They for the streets.
Yeah.
I can get you just like I got out of bed.
Wait a minute. I'm a woman. Since I'm wearing makeup, 71 years old.
All right.
I've been around for a minute.
All right. That's right.
What good man would want a woman?
That's what I'm saying. See that? That goes both ways.
Right. What good woman would want a man that's a chump?
Yeah. Right. Just looking at you for what they call that. Superficial. Yeah. You know when you look up the word makeup, it means something that is to cover up something that is used up. It actually says that in the Merriam-Webster. Now we'll go back to Egypt and Babylon. You know, right. Then you had men who went to battle and got scarred. Really, to be honest, a lot of the vanity stuff that women do, men were doing.
Right.
If you got scarred and slashed in the face, you put makeup over it to cover it up and stuff. You know,
they wore it in war too.
They wore it in war.
Yeah. Gad, specialized in that. Gad, and all the Manasseh. When they went to war, that's where they get that from now. The guerrilla warfare.
When you look at the movie, was it 3000 or 300? And wear that makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
And they consider themselves beautiful, like kings. They consider themselves. Hey, Solomon said it. I am black and comely.
Yeah, he did.
So he considered himself beautiful.
Can't you be beautiful from the inside?
You can.
Out to the outside.
But when he had royalty would show themselves as beauty on the in and outside.
I don't wear makeup. I told you I was 71. I've been around for a minute.
Right.
But I look at the men today, they're more feminine.
But they don't have no confidence.
I'm just saying.
They are.
And the women are just out of order.
The women are too confident.
Look.
This whole place is out of order.
When you were in school, right? I know for me growing up, right? You probably felt it too. How you look, they choking on you, cracking on
your shoes, your clothes.
Yeah.
Man, they made fun of my skin color.
Guess where I got my clothes from? It's still here. The thrift store.
There you go.
And I learned it's not what's out here.
I'll get you on 66. We're going to show you that in the Bible. It's not about the skin. But they joked him about his skin color, but they didn't know the one you call Jesus. It's because of this. It's because of this. And why people joke him about that. And guess who did it too? You know how black women complain about, we're facing racism. It was black women that they thought of me about my skin color.
And your skin is beautiful.
And half of them are black. They said he was better. A lot of you not. He was out. He was outside. They said he looks better because he's lighter than me.
They were brainwashed.
Yeah, that goes back to
The more melanin you have,
yeah. What's that? The slavery with the
I want them to tell me that now.
Willie Lynch.
right.
That's
I got this color because somebody raped one of my elders. You know what I mean? A white man did it.
right.
Because I didn't, you know, and it took me a long time to understand.
I want them to tell me that now.
Black is beautiful. And what I'm seeing in these young children today, I can say that for 75. They've been brainwashed so bad. With them, it's about the outside. It's
You know,
not about what's on
You know, people will say it doesn't matter because you say you're 71, but it does in a sense, especially when you're speaking of wisdom. You experience things, and when you get a certain age, you can kind of see a lot of things that went down, and you're trying to, like you were trying to teach a young woman, and she'll look at you. I don't care if you're 71.
Especially all the generations that happened.
Yep.
You can analyze it.
Right. It definitely plays a factor. If we had an 80-year-old man coming to the truth, right? And even though he's a babe in the truth, he's an elder of the world, but he won't know things that we don't know. Those are worldly form of experiences, and then you have wisdom, which is in the scriptures. But you can add things from the world as far as wisdom and equate it to things that's going on in your everyday life in the truth. I've learned a lot.
I lived in Spain. I was in the airport. I was in Spain. And because of my color, I was like, I could go in a restaurant and eat a full-course meal.
Right.
When it came time to pay for you, not.
Oh, let me tell you
Because
this.
they understood it's not what you are, it's who you are.
Right. I'll tell you this too. You are part of history. Even myself to a degree. I remember that some crosses being burnt in yards when I was in a group home. We read these stuffs in the book, right? But that young man behind the camera to yourself, y'all never saw any of that. That's why keep Deuteronomy 32 and 7. I'll show you the Bible. Get Deuteronomy 32 and 7. That's why you have people that come up and give their stories and facts of what actually happened. And that can back up to what we've been saying about this man being the devil.
The only way for us to experience any form of way like that is over the thing. I cannot go 1 week without somebody joining a party screaming nigger, nigger, nigger.
But they don't know where it come from. But then we got elder apostles set up, right? Elder men, elder brothers, who can tell you stories that actually really did go down.
Like you see,
If it wasn't for the elders and elder men and elder brothers and some elder sisters, a lot of you young jakes wouldn't know nothing, man.
like you see,
All through the spirit, though.
when our people, when they had the pros back then, you know, they
I had one.
I remember that.
The crack. Then you see how people just start falling down. The crack epidemic.
That didn't come to the 80s.
Right. Then you got people getting thrown into the jail for marijuana. Now you can't find. Everybody got a freaking bag of weed on them now. You know?
Everything. I'm just saying that that's rich history.
Right.
That proves that it's the scriptures. Going back to the era, I remember even in the 70s that you were allowed to beat your discipline your child, even according to the Bible. Then they passed a law in the mid 70s, or late 70s, and then in the 80s that you couldn't discipline your child no more.
I can.
Right? Well,
I
did.
can.
I still did.
They
But I'm
came
saying
for
the law's
me.
on the book.
Right. That's the law on the book. I was disciplining my daughter one time. She was a teenager, y'all. She missed curfew. Somebody called the police on her. The black police went on about his business. The white one want to give me a lecture. And I looked at them. Let me tell you. First of all, she's mine. I'd rather beat her than have you kill her.
Yeah, that's what I say.
He had to leave
Right.
my door.
Right.
Because I had her. I'm gonna correct her. You didn't have nothing, but you rather kill her than to see her flourish with a good mind. Got 2 grandsons. I ain't bragging, I'm just saying. I would put them up against any man in this country because they were raised right. They know who they are, they know where they come from. And they can hold a conversation with me better than a whole lot of people. And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. A woman can raise a man, but she got to be a woman first.
Yeah, there's no excuse. There's no excuses for these young men the way they are. You know, to be a first of all, to be a parent is to watch over. So there's no excuse for a woman to be able to raise a man to some degree, to be able to at least conduct himself, you know, responsibly in society. You know, I mean, young men do need that male influence as far as certain things.
And I provided it. My father
Right.
was the father. He was their father as well, because he could tell himself I couldn't.
Right. Hey, you got men in the truth now, top men, who said admit they was raised by their mothers, and look at it. We in the truth. I had a foster mother, but for the most part, I didn't have parents. But somehow I still got here.
Right.
Because ultimately it's the Heavenly Father. I'll read that scripture real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7, it says, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will shoot thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Right. So you got worldly father, worldly elders, and then you got spiritual fathers and spiritual elders. There's a difference.
Yes, it is.
So you want to, when you come into the truth, you got the spiritual fathers, the spiritual elders. But then if you even have a father, you in the truth, you got a father. You still got to honor your father,
right?
Mother.
Right.
And then if you ask them certain things, what happened in your day? What happened? Well, we got chased with the water holes and the dogs. Then you can equate that right built into the scriptures.
Let me tell you this about honoring your father. My father actually lived with me for a while.
Right.
I had no clue that he had put me on information. I got a letter in the mail the other day. This is the second one I got. He worked for Government Steel. He had that black yeah. I had no idea. I had no idea. I had this letter on my dresser for about 3 weeks. And something said, open it up and see what it is. My father left me a whole another bunch of money.
Wow.
Out of 6 children, I was the only one, the only girl, the oldest, and the only one that was the grandparent.
Right.
I learned, and we got sick. Now you move in here.
Right.
I wasn't expecting anything.
Right. Well, you did it out of sincerity.
I wanted to.
Right. It was out of sincerity.
And look, I was like, that man been gone 20 years, and look what he's still doing.
Well, you notice in the scriptures about if you raise your child, when they're gone, it's like he never left. It's a Saraka thing. So again, there was men, and there was some women. Women in the Bible did some great things as well. Is it? Yeah, you got it. Yeah, no, this one's
right.
Proverbs. I know one is an apocryphal.
Yeah, Proverbs 22:6. It says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it."
Read that again, brother.
Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
In that same book, it says, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." And so it wasn't no secret that our mothers back in the day used to whip our ass. But now this generation, ain't nobody get no ass whippers, man.
My grandsons will tell you. My grandsons will tell you how you do something wrong, you'll pay for it. And I got a little belt with your name.
There you go.
So guess what?
Yep.
Both of them have finished college.
There you go.
Both of them have good jobs.
Yep.
Both of them respect their mother.
Right.
Their
Right.
biological mother.
Right.
And refuse to move because mama raised us. Now we gotta help.
Right.
That's raising.
Yeah.
And I'm not a rocket scientist.
Right.
I'm old school.
Right.
And I look at some of these young folks. One of the reasons I stopped teaching was I thought I was gonna hurt somebody's child, right? Or their mouth.
Right, just like teaching. Yeah, they're gone. I mean, you got to get a child when they get about 7 years old. You know, you got to get them when they're 5, 6.
When
You got to
they're
get
2
them
and 3, when you tell them no, that stove is hot. But I like talking. Y'all don't let me talk a lot.
Well, you know, and Paul was speaking about the elder woman in the churches. You know, after about 60. You know.
Well, I'm 71.
Well, I know you surpassed the age. Yeah.
But with me, the knowledge comes from seeing what I see.
Right.
If I see you do something wrong, I saw you go to jail.
Yep. I say it like this, sister. You want to discipline your child, but the system don't want you to. Why? Because they got a name for little TJ over the cell. You can't discipline, like you can't discipline your own child, but you can put them in the military and let them curse you out and make you do push-ups or make you go to prison and then tell you when to get up, when to go to sleep. Now, if you discipline them before they got to that point, and that's what they want slaves. They want legalized slaves. They found another way than the whip, right? They found a judicial, which judicial comes from Judah, Yahweh, courts. And when you look at the word court, it means game. Like we go to basketball court, that's the playing of words. That's all that is.
I didn't mean to cut
This is why when these so-called Negroes go to prison, they have what you call a court system. It's called a game system. And you have warlocks sitting up behind the bench. This is why they'll give you something called a summons. You know what a summons is? It's a spell.
Right.
That's why it's called a court game system. You know? It's all a playing of the words.
And I refuse to go to church.
The church is wicked.
Let me tell you why. Why should I be in there? I'm retired now. I'm not going to church. But I figured it out so later. I live in an apartment. He live in a mansion.
Of course.
He begging me for money.
And you struggling, trying to pay your rent.
Something's wrong with it.
And then you ask for gas and electric. I need help with gas and electric.
Well,
If
do
you
you
pay your
know?
car system.
You ask them a question in the street, they ain't gonna answer.
Well, this is what I say about when you go to church and you go to court. Same thing. They're all by the state. LBJ.
They look the
Lyndon
same.
B. Johnson. When you go on the court, you got the 12 jurors, you got the judge, you got the pews for the people, the listeners, you got the prosecuting attorney. Well, when you go to church, wait a minute. You got a preacher, you got the choirings, you got the bishop, the deacon, you got the pews, the church and the goddamn court, the same damn thing.
I had an aunt, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave. Went to church every single Sunday. Sang on the choir, all of that. My mother got real sick. My aunt took her from the doctor's office to the family. Did you learn that in church? I moved in. I gave away everything except my clothes. Moved in with my mother.
Right.
You brought me in this world. Now it's my turn to help. Had no clue. I didn't care whose name was on the insurance policy.
Right.
But we gonna bury them.
Right.
And my aunt was mad because I had my dog sitting on the front row with me.
Right.
And my aunt was getting ready to come down the aisle. I said, "You just call something in the church." I went out in the hall to meet her.
Right.
Because see, that was I hurt her.
Yeah, well, see, you got a good heart, but you're really a spirit. Not everybody has that. This is an evil, wicked world.
Yes, it is.
You know?
That's why you see me when you see me.
Right.
By myself. I don't want y'all right. I don't want to be corrupt. I'm 71.
Right.
I've lived a long time, I've learned a lot, but I'm still open to knowledge.
Well, you know, you're 71. You know how many elders or so-called senior citizens are not willing to learn? They know it all. They ain't willing to learn nothing. You got to really sit. Somebody get Matthew 18:1, real quick.
The Lord ain't make the truth for everybody.
Right.
The scripture say that. It ain't gonna be here. It says one or two of a city. Yeah. You know, that's why you only see a certain few of us that actually teaching the truth. You know, because it ain't for everybody to get.
If this wasn't the truth, we'd have 1,000 people standing around. What did you say?
I got a question.
Look at her night.
She good.
All right, well, I just got into the truth. I've been into the truth maybe now for 6 months.
Okay.
And one of the people on that sign that I happen to run across is Bishop Nathaniel, amongst other people whom I've come across. And so I'm confused a little bit as to why he's on this sign. If you can quickly, briefly explain.
You know the name of the Lord?
Yahweh. Shah.
Do you teach that?
Joel 2:32. Well, go ahead.
But that's
I mean, is that it?
I mean, that's the big part of it. Yeah, it's a big part. You know,
I think that kept is what? IUIC.
Yeah.
IUIC. And I come to gain a liking of those guys. I came down here to try to find the watchman crew that be over there.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like I say, I'm getting to the truth.
IUIC they're very well seasoned in the scriptures or certain things, but they do go off. They teach that you don't have to call on the name of the Lord. You can call Jesus. Now, just by common sense, if I lost my driver's license and you gave me back my picture with somebody else's name on there, I'm going to have a fit about that. And then if you do give me my picture back and it's my name on there with somebody else's picture, I'm going to have I'm offense to that. So we are really against him on that mainly. There's a couple things he go off on. He's a good teacher because he knows certain scriptures. We believe he sold out.
Yeah.
But he come from One West, and he got a great following. It looks good. It's not all about that. It's not all about having hundreds, thousands of men. Because remember, Yahushua, he had haters. There was more against them that was for him.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of those camps, like Bishop Nathaniel camp, well, they got 501c3 charters. They can't speak against the politics, right? So it's a gag order. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So they can't bring out the whole truth like we can, because we didn't sell out. Yeah, we don't got a 501c3 charter.
Right. You say 501c3 charter.
Yeah. See.
What exactly is that?
You can look that up. It's a government tax exemption,
Right,
set up by Lyndon Baines Johnson,
Right.
in the 60s. And what they did is you had churches coming against the government, speaking against government issues. And what they did is say, we'll set you up with a private exemption, tax exemption, if you do not speak against the government. I'm serious, you can look
So
this
you
up.
say they don't speak against the government?
No, not on high levels when it comes to
They
politics.
crush the government, bro. I've seen it.
They do talk about things with the government, but they do not go into the politics.
right.
They are not
Such
allowed
as-
to go. You will not see them do a
When
bunch
you
of
say
videos
politics, what
Hold
type
on.
of politics?
or talking about the leaders, like the top leaders.
That's all I've heard.
No, they not talk about Biden and the nuclear. You will not see them talk about the
That's
destruction of
all I've
America.
heard. Bro, I
That's all out of left.
I've been studying under
Well,
them
then
a
why
lot.
do they got a 501c3?
I mean,
They
They
shouldn't
really
need that.
have a-
And secondly, they go off on the name of the Lord. Why they say you can call the Lord Yo Play Yoga?
I've
That's
never heard that
off.
term.
Oh, but you only been in the truth 6 months. So you don't know.
Another thing too.
Yeah, get the elites. Hey, they talk about them? You'll never see them talk about them. You got to show me that video.
Any elected official, they are under that gag order. They can't speak about the government officials.
They can't speak about government officials. And then every year they got to go to the 50. Every year they got to go to the 501c3 conference. They do go to conferences every year because of the 501c3. First of all, you shouldn't need the government to push the word of the Lord, man.
Right.
That's all.
If I can say this too,
Do you believe that? That you should use the government to push the word of the Lord? No. Yeah.
No. If I can say this, they also go off on Revelation 13.
Oh,
You know,
On the mark of the beast.
yeah, mark of the beast, another, and the image of the beast. You know, because
Yeah.
they talk about this is the image of the beast.
That's
They bring
not
this
it.
out. You know,
That's not it.
You won't see them bring it. They'll do videos against us. And we can break it down for you right here. And we're not coming, we're
I
not
understand.
being,
I understand. Listen,
belligerent enough.
I listen,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I do, and I don't take anything to heart.
You
know what I'm
gotta
saying?
pray
in
and
a
ask.
bad way.
You got to
know,
pray and ask the Lord to give you full understanding.
That's what I do.
They just look good. But the Lord is not
You know,
dealing with that.
Let me tell
The
you
Lord is
something.
not dealing with looks, man.
I might have told you all this before, but I had an aunt, my mother's sister. Never missed this time. My mother got sick. They took my mother from the doctor's office to practice. Every dollar she made, my mother had six children and grandchildren. And who would you think was the true heirs to my mother? The one that Percy. Well, instead of getting mad, I could have got mad and gone off.
definitely called for one.
I just waited. I'm not a beggar. My mother had a stash under her pillow. But that's the same what you put out there to get it back. People don't believe that. And I might look stupid as I don't know what, but I got a brain. And I try to use it. If you sit, I'm not going to use it. Why should I? And I'm able to take care of myself. Why should I take it? That's money. That doesn't even have
Well,
real value.
That's going into what he was going into about the churches. IUIC is a church brand, right? And I know the history on them. And I know a lot of things. They've been exposed on several accounts of thievery, theft, murder, all kinds of stuff happening in that church. And that's things I don't want to say on camera to defame the man.
Where's their church?
Huh?
Where's their church? I didn't know they had a church.
Oh, they do have a church. That's
They
why it's
speak
called,
against churches.
they do speak against church. We're having a church.
Right.
I mean, when you
This is a
congregate,
church.
yes, this is a church,
Right.
but that's the
He
only
has
church
a
that I've
church.
seen them have.
He's a church under the congregation of the government.
Right.
They set up. They have a 501c3.
I gotta look into that. I can't accept
Yeah,
it.
well,
Yeah, I can't
incorporate.
accept
They're
it.
incorporated. You can't speak on things unless you research it.
Right, I know. So that's why,
Right, you got to research it.
so to speak,
So,
sort of. You know what I mean?
Yep, you got to research it.
I'm
Those
definitely gonna
guys,
research.
those guys, they go off on a lot of doctrine. They tell you don't worry about nothing. The Lord has got it covered. When there's a time of Jacob's trouble, they didn't believe that. There's all kinds of stuff that's happening, and this church is telling you don't worry about it. There's been rape in the church. There's been all kinds of stuff going on in that.
Sodomy.
All kinds of stuff in
All
that church. Well, we talk about this particular church. They claim, hey, listen to the name, Israelite United in Christ. Come on now, why you calling on Christ? That's this
I mean, you
thing.
gotta go through Christ to make it to the
No,
Most
you
High,
ain't gotta
right?
go through Christ.
So you don't have to go through Christ to
You have
make
to
it to
go.
the Most
You
High.
gotta go to the Yahweh Shah.
Yeah, his name ain't Christ.
Well, we know that Yahweh Shah. So don't you have to go through Yahweh
Yes.
Shah to make it through?
Yes,
to the
but
Most High?
are you gonna call on? Read that scripture, man, Joel.
Yeah, this is Joel chapter 2, verse 32. Yeah, this is Joel 2:32. It says, "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered."
Right.
For
What
in
is
that,
that? Did I ask you that? What does that mean? According to what that says?
I mean, in order to even your prayers to even be answered by the Most High, you have to go through Yahweh Shah, not him. But, you know,
Okay, but read that again. Listen slowly.
this is Joel chapter 2, verse 32. And it says, "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord."
The name of the Lord. So you gotta find out what's the name of the Lord. Those guys at IUIC teach you the name is not important.
Right, but
So they'll go in Revelations and say he'll be given a new name or something like that.
Right.
But they don't go into the blue letter and look it up.
Right.
You know? They don't go into the Greek. They don't go into the Hebrew.
Right.
They're just spitting it out. The new name is he'll be called a new name. The Lord's name is forever.
Right. So the problem is for them to say that their main group is Israelite United in Christ, it should be Israelite United in Yahweh.
But they can't say that because of that 501c3.
Okay. Like for example, you said the new name, right? You have something called the new moon, right? Like they go off on that, right? But the new moon is not actually a new moon coming over. No, it's the same moon coming over. You know, so it ain't no something that no man. You know, they don't understand that. Okay, I got this. Micah 4 and 5. For all people will walk everyone in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God, Yahweh Shai, forever and ever. Okay, there's actually a video of Nate teaching the name when he was in One West.
Yeah, I pulled that out. I got a video back from it. Was it the 80s? 80s, 90s? 80s, 90s? I found a video saying you cannot be saved there. They said, you cannot be saved by any other name. They used to have a trench coat. He used to be out teaching. Then all of a sudden, he comes back with the 501c3. Everybody got on purple. Everybody, those are Pharisees, man. You know? And now everybody's got the name. Let's get Revelation 13 and 17. I'll show you what else is going on. Because really, it's about prophecy. It's a lot that's getting ready to happen. Right? Yeah. And I'm going to give it to though, Dave. He does. He makes good points. He was a top teacher. And I said he ain't a good teacher.
I'm definitely going to pull him up about this 501c3K.
Yep, you can look it up right now on your phone.
Okay, I'm going to the brothers.
If I can say this, because this guy, you know, but our elders, they got into it because of Cornelius. You know, there was a split, and you know they were saying that Cornelius was an Israelite. You're familiar with Cornelius, right? I've heard his name. Yeah, Cornelius is an Israelite, but they caused a split because you know our elders figured out that Cornelius was an Israelite, so they kicked him out, and then years later, it comes out and says Cornelius is an Israelite, but he don't give no credit on who he got it from. You know, and that shows you that that's
Nate was under our teaching.
That's not humility. Yeah, humility. That's not integrity. You know, if you got something from somebody, you need to reverence your teachers. That's what the scriptures say. Of none of whom you learned them from. You know, he making it seem like he always do that. You know,
read that Revelation 13 and 17 real quick. Revelation 13 and 7. This is where it go off on. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the save he that has the mark.
What do you think that is?
What I think the mark is?
Yeah.
It could be a chip. It could be a jab. It could be.
Well, before you go further, Nate says the mark ain't any one of those. Okay. He says the mark is the philosophy of the world. Now we're going to show you something. Get Ezekiel 9 and 4.
That's written? What you just said, that's written in the scripture?
Yes. I'll show you. Ezekiel 9 and 4.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
So now you have a situation where it says mark in Ezekiel. Right. Then you have Revelation 13 and 15 says the mark. Then you got Romans 16 and 17 that says mark them and cause division. So now we got three different marks. Right, but then you got the apostle, mark in the Bible. So you got four different definitions of mark, right? These are called homeographs. One mark here, one mark here, one mark there, one mark there. David said that mark is just a spiritual mark. It has nothing to do with something physical, right? Like when you go run a race, right? Let's say you have a tie. It's spelled T-I-E. Okay, I came in a tie. We had a tie. But then when you put a necktie on, it says tie. Or when you lie on somebody, it says lie. Or when you actually lie spiritually on somebody, it's lie, right? You get it? So what? But it's just the English language. You have words that spell the same that have different meanings. This is what you see in Mark. You got your blue letter?
got it. Go to Revelation 13 and 17. Read that again. Was it 15? Go to 16. Okay. Revelation 13 and 17. And this is where Nate goes off. Go ahead. Don't go on the Nope. Go ahead.
It says, and he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Right. Now, Nate is saying that's spiritual because he's talking about the right hand or the forehead. A lot of camps say that. We the only ones at Great Millstone that says no, that's physical. Because you can't equate that mark as the same mark in Revelation 16 or Ezekiel 9. How do we know this? Let's go into the Greek. The Bible was translated from the Hebrew to the Greek Septuagint, and then even some Latin is in there. Okay, read that.
The definition for mark is charagma in the Greek, right? It says a stamp or an imprinted mark.
Right.
It says of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand is the badge of the followers of the Antichrist.
Now, when you go on to that chapter, it'll say both hands. The right hand, that's going into basically a physical. But the Lord, this man wants to take the right hand side of our people. So this is why he's trying to mark them. It does better in the right hand, but it can be the left hand. And then you got scanners. You got people getting retina vision and scanners where they actually bring chip. Go ahead.
You can buy your own chip now.
Yeah.
It's a video clip on Alex Jones, right? It's been up for years on YouTube. We can still. I don't know if they took it down. They probably took it down because Aaron Russo, right? He's a director, major director in Hollywood. He had just met Nick Rockefeller, and now they're claiming he doesn't exist. But he was saying this like 10, 20 years back that they was coming out, the elite. I'm talking about the roof. They was coming out with the RFID chip, planning a chip
For everybody.
everybody.
That's a branding. You know, like when you got a slave and you brand your slave, you know, that's pretty much you saying that you're pleased with the so-called white man. So, you know, that you brand your slave. You know?
He's taking among other things. He's taking pictures. They're taking pictures with Amalekites or rats. And you gotta understand, this man that runs this system, he's very crafty and he has a lot of guile, sneaky guile. So he'll let Nate say some things about him. As long as you don't talk about, that's it right there, sir. As long as you don't talk about that chip. As long as you don't talk about that chip.
Alex Jones, right? No, this is Aaron Russo, but it's on Alex Jones. Okay. You need to go look at that.
Have you ever heard of Sweden?
That was for the plan. You say you start spilling certain beings,
Right. Have you ever heard of Sweden?
that's gonna basically cast them down. You don't want to cast them down.
That chip is real heavy.
But they allowed Nate. They allowed Nate and those guys to do that on certain levels, like when we say talking about the wars. Yeah, they will go in. They will go into the war sometime. They will go into certain things dealing with earthly things, earthly matters like the UN and things like that. But they won't go but so deep with that. That's the issue because they are not allowed. They will make a 2-3 hour lesson on it, but they will not. You got to learn for yourself, brother. We're not here.
I mean, I know some things, bro.
Okay,
I'm listening.
I'm not saying you don't.
They like taking it because
I just want to know how deep can't they go? How deep can't they go? Like, what would be a discussion that they got to stray away from under this 501(c)(3)?
You can look
What
this
is
up
a
yourself.
conversation that
Look
you
it up.
can't talk about?
Go to 501(c)(3).
I got it. I pulled it up on my phone. I'm gonna go back home and
Well,
look
we're
at
gonna
it.
read it.
But as far as a topic that's taking place here right now in this world,
They can talk about the war. They can talk about the elites. They can talk about everybody to some degree. They just can't go under the surface. They can only stay on the
give me an
level.
example.
I got it
Give
right
me
here.
an example of
If we
what
say,
they can't talk about.
okay, let's say,
Meaning, so you can talk about.
let's say, well, the chip is one of them. But let's say the Rockefeller, one of the Rockefellers had some secret mystery going on
where he was trying to
The meeting?
put no, not that. Where he's trying to he's gonna come in your house and pull you out the house and throw you into the concentration camp. I have yet to hear Nate them talk about that.
And that goes into Jacob's trouble as well. That's why he.
They'll say, "Don't worry about that. The Lord got it." Every time. They will not go into the secret.
You sound like you got that really down. What
Don't worry about that. Yeah. I got to say this because we don't hate him. Yeah, we don't hate
Right,
him.
understood,
We kind of like him.
understood.
He's like an elder.
I understand, but you know,
He's called Elder Bishop Nathaniel. So we don't really hate him. In fact, that you come into the truth, even under IUIC, okay, you're an Israelite. Some of them are in IUIC are the elect. Yeah, he might be sincere. He might be a sincere brother. So we don't hate him. We just try to say, the scripture says, "Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect," which perfect just means completion. But you gotta do it to the best of your ability. You know, don't get caught up because they look good and they're helping to build in a nation. That's another thing to go on.
I just got put up because of what they say.
Of course.
That's
That's how
had
we
nothing
talk.
to do with the purple and gold,
Okay.
the structure that they have,
Oh.
the schools, and none of that. It has something to do with the word and how they bring it
Freemason
out.
marches. Let's talk about
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
You've seen that they've been marching with the Freemasons?
I mean, I've heard some people come against them, speaking them things, but I never paid attention to the people that's speaking against them. You know, I continue on, you know, listening. I don't, because I sometimes may take that as, you know, sidetracking. You know,
People hating on them, and they
right?
don't
You know,
want
because
you know.
I know what my spirit is telling me, so I'm letting my spirit guide me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? This is why I listen to them so
Right.
much.
I got that but to a degree, sometimes you have to take into consideration of what those scoffers might say, because if you got this guy that's speaking against, you know, these guys here, right? And you know these guys are pretty much the definition of Freemasonry, right? And we know the things you got to do to be a free. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, exactly. Then you see a video, which it is a video. You see a video with these guys marching. That's it right there. You see these guys marching.
I seen that.
Yeah, with the free.
I seen that, and the rebuttal to that, because when I seen it, kind of like boiled my soul a little bit, so I had to do the research. But when I did the research, what was said was it could be a parade. In this parade, they was all the way in the back, and they marched with them. Still had their speaker, their mic, and everything going against what they was doing. This is the video that I saw. This was their rebuttal. They wasn't. They was saying that they wasn't with them, but they was.
That's what they said. But they all got they got the aprons on just like the
Just like them.
They look like them. They march with
Let
them.
me see the video. I'm gonna check the video out again.
They stood in triangle.
But the Most High God told us not to do that. Did you know God told us not to do that? Yeah, how would they tell us to do that? Get that, bro. Proverbs 4:14, brother. I got it. It's Proverbs 4 and 14. Okay, let the brother here. Yeah. Read that anyway. Proverbs 4:14.
It's Proverbs 4:14.
Go ahead.
Enter not into the path of the wicked.
Go ahead. Read
And
it
go
again.
not in the way of evil men.
Read that again.
Enter not into the path of the wicked.
So they was marching in their path, but what did they read that again?
It's Proverbs 4:14. Enter not into the path of the wicked.
So you're not supposed to go into the path of the wicked.
I can have a rebuttal to that myself.
How's
if
that?
I can.
How's that?
A path could be you walking this way and I'm walking that path, but I think maybe they would say not doing what they do is the path. You don't do the path of the wicked. Like say for instance,
It's both.
say for instance, I'm with some brothers or I'm with some niggas, and they doing wicked evil shit.
You're not supposed
And
to
I'm
go
doing
with
the same thing they doing. I'm
Right.
on the same path as them. But now, say for instance, it's a brick road right here, and we walking, and I'm following this path. The
Nope,
path
I'm
in which
explaining
the
that.
scripture is talking about is
Nope.
the path of the wicked doing the wicked things. I
Nope.
mean, I'm just
Nope. If you are
if you see a bunch of grubby niggas with guns out in the front of a gas station and you got to get gas, are you gonna walk by up? Excuse me, man. Get out of the way of that gun, man. I'm going through. You're gonna turn the hell away from that.
Yes.
You're gonna say, I don't want to be around that.
What path
Because
is the scripture talking about that you just read? Is it talking about that path, or is it
It's
talking about going the ways
hold
of the wicked?
It's both. Because you're dealing
It's
with,
both?
if you're dealing with, you see Freemasons marching, right? Why the hell would you march right behind them?
Read the scripture again, if you don't mind.
Read it again.
Another thing too, we're not supposed to go out there and these Black Lives Matter, right? And all that. We're not supposed to go within that area within them and preach, you know.
Yeah, that'll be solidarity.
You can't go in and listen to them and switch the word.
No, that's being in solidarity with them. We're supposed to be separate from the ways of this current structure. We're not supposed to walk in the same fashion or formation as this world.
You talking about the Holy Spirit?
Only separate.
Yeah, listen.
Only
Trust me,
be
I'm
separate.
listening, but I'm
We're
just
not
trying to
supposed
understand.
Let's say it's a bunch of transgenders over there.
Hold on.
We're not supposed to go up and stand in it. You know you're doing wrong.
Listen,
You're wrong.
okay, can I say this?
You know?
If that's the case,
Right.
what you saying, what are we surrounded by right now?
We're not surrounded by them.
Why
We're
aren't
not
we?
going. Hold on.
You got a business right here
We're not going into the
that's
path.
ran by the white
Hold
man.
on. If there's a big gathering of wicked evildoers, we're not supposed to go into the gathering of wicked evildoers. No. You have people passing by. We're supposed to go out the highways and preach the word. That's it. We're not supposed to go into some conference of trainees and try to wake up trainees. We got to trust in the Lord to do that.
You have some guys, they'll come out here with their signs and everything, protesting the aquarium. You know, even though we're against the aquarium, right? We're not gonna go over there and start. Yeah, these are right.
Hey, that's what they don't do too. They'll go down south and somebody get blown away by the cop. And they'll do some big march for black. And then they got cops inside there with them. They got detectives. Nate was a detective. You know, Nate was the police.
Yeah, guess what? They got personal records on all those people. Just when you gotta give them the information. You know, then they tell them, oh, you change your name to an evil name, but you can't call on the name of the Lord.
But here's the main thing.
Okay, so that's another question I'm going to have to get to the bottom of. Why can't they call the Most High by the Most High's name?
Because they have that charter. But here's
Right.
the thing.
So
The
that's what I'm
reason
saying. I
why
gotta
we
find
can't-
out. I gotta find out.
Right, but the reason we're saying that what we're saying is because number one, that brings demons. So as the elders mentioned, if we go into a group of transsexuals, we reaching there wrong, that brings demons. We can end up following what they do. That's why we separate ourselves from that. It's because you say the average person is walking by now.
Not because I have heard Bishop Nathaniel say Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, he will say it sometimes.
I have heard it.
He will say it.
He's probably a stripper. That's what.
But he speak evil of that name too, man. You know, he said when something happens, they're gonna say
Yeah, he mocks the name. They said that one of Nate's guys said you can call the Lord a jalapeno pepper. I did a video on it. I'm serious.
Where can I find you guys at? You know, because like I say, I'm in my walk.
Okay.
And I need the brothers, that's the brothers all the way.
Right.
You know, because I didn't start it off with IUSGK. Forgive me. I started out with them.
Yeah.
Let them alone.
Yeah, they're rebels.
Let them alone.
But you know, them and IUIC got a big going on.
Actually, let me say I started with. I definitely was lost, bro. I was lost because my father was a master researcher of Egyptology. Get that out of here. So that's what I came up off of, and so that led me to brothers like, man, I don't even want to say their name.
I'm gonna tell you this.
You know,
I was with Comforter, God said Comforter,
right?
company, ICCC. I was in his school, right? And I said, man, this guy called himself the Comforter. Let me get out. So then I started following IUIC. I was actually following them, and then I saw what they were doing. I said, and then I followed GMS. And they call us rapists, and they say we rape young women. But
yeah,
there's no rapists in the Bible. You know that.
I've heard of camps like that as well, as far as like in agreement to that. you know, the rape and the little kids and things.
No, see, that's it again. That's how you see in the video.
Well, I gotta ask one question. Are y'all two agree with that?
With what?
In the ancient world, when a woman,
Rape,
Not little girls, no.
not
rape.
They
When a
said we
woman-
raped. We said we was raping 6-year-olds. IUIC said that. The rape you see today is not the rape that happened in the Bible. In fact, we could go into the different translations that said the actual word rape. It actually said it. Yeah, and we agree that that's what it was. And we can prove it right now.
There's two things, right? Because Nate did a video that you can rape any emergency, okay? And then another thing, right?
Yeah, he told you can rape.
When it comes down
They just
to,
gave a class yesterday smashing that rape. Like,
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, man. Okay. When it comes down to a father, right? The daughters don't just go out and go find whatever man they want. Okay, especially in ancient Israel. Okay, the man had to go. The father had to go find a husband with a daughter. Okay, that's what the scriptures say. You have performed a weighty matter. Okay, when you marry your daughter off, you marry them off quickly while they're young. Okay, so the father had to do that. Okay, it wasn't no woman going out and just
Laying up.
so when they say we have to marry them all quickly,
because the women are freaking. Look at these women. They
I know I can't say
slave every goddamn body.
I can't say
what age you can say a woman is a marriage?
That's another thing Nate and them go
I
off
guess
on.
when some say when they have their first cycle.
Yeah,
Okay, that's right.
You
now
understand what I'm saying?
that first man that pops that woman, that's a valuable good. Okay, so when you lose that, we're talking about men was actually selling their daughters. Okay, and getting some people will pay top money for a good wife. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened when you go into a man's and you take his possession, right, which is his daughter, because the father is that daughter is a possession onto her father, okay, and you take that virginity away from that daughter, okay, you just made that man lose a lot of money.
Let me ask you a question. In this society, you got a daughter, right? She's 15, 14 years old, 13 even. If you gave her decision to mess with whoever she will, you do realize by the time she's 20, she will have about 10, 15 men on her, right? Yeah, that's for them. But if a man came and took it, let's say he raped it and took it, and said, here's 50 shekels of silver, but you are obligated to take care of her the rest of her damn life. She cannot be a whore. The women are pretty much prostitutes now, so you're dealing with rape and prostitution. It's the same, it's on the same level of society today. Now we can prove it in the Bible. You said IUIC smashed the rape doctrine? Let's show it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22. Y'all know what it is, 22, 26. We'll show you, according to the Bible, that rape happened. In fact, brother, if you go to the Bible Hub, look at the translations.
So once again, so
We're
you're
gonna show
saying
you.
it's acceptable.
It's acceptable. Yeah. You got, not now, no. Because you got to know what the word rape means. Rape today. Well, we're gonna show. We're gonna show them.
So that's what I'm
We're
saying.
gonna show you.
This day and time, is it acceptable?
No.
No.
We're not in
Right. Right. Okay. So
We're not.
But they're teaching the guys are saying you can rape. But go ahead.
We're not saying that. You know.
Oh, he said that. He said
I
next
said,
to
I've
that.
never heard them say that.
Yeah, they do. They got a whole lot of videos on us, man. Read that. Deuteronomy 22. I think it's 20.
Is it
22 and 26. I think. So the part where it says that the damsel.
yeah, that's it.
25.
If a man, yeah.
Somebody hold that blue
Yeah,
letter.
Deuteronomy 22.
I can go up a little. Okay.
23. Go 23.
At 16 it said, and the damsel father shall say unto the elders. It goes into when we start.
No. Go to the point. Not to the.
Oh, 23.
23. Go to that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 23. It says, if a damsel, and a damsel means young woman. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city, and
You got two definitions of virgin. notice it says virgin in that scripture. You got Bothwalla, okay, which is the daughter of marital age, and Lama, which is a woman that's never been touched.
All right, can you finish?
Let's get to that point.
Yeah. Okay, it says,
Can you start over?
yeah, from the top. It says, if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city, and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not.
Now hold it. What that is saying, if I read that part again, because we're gonna have to do it step by step so you can clearly get it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Read it over.
All right, it says, if a damsel that is a virgin be
A
betrothed,
damsel that is a virgin, a young woman that has not been touched, and she is betrothed, meaning she's already in a fixed marriage, right? Go ahead.
unto a husband,
Right.
and a man find her in the city, and
Meaning
lie with
another
her,
man find her in the city. They see this betrothed damsel. Go ahead.
then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of the city,
Right.
and ye shall stone them with stones that they die.
Right. Because now you committed adultery. Right. Keep going.
The damsel, because she cried not.
Now, why did the damsel? Because she cried not. That means if she liked it, she was no good. Right. But the damsel didn't like it, so she has a chance to move on and remarry under those laws. Right.
I was gonna say that back then you knew who was engaged. The women had certain clothes, and
Right.
colors, you know. So you knew.
So the guy would have
She
been wicked.
gets to remarry after she did the adultery.
It wasn't adultery on her behalf because she cried.
She got
She got basically raped.
If she cried not,
Right.
then it's different.
It's different.
and
Right.
it was laws set up for all these certain matters.
They said because she cried not. When you read that, she didn't cry. That means she liked it. He raped me and I loved it. She's no good. So they both got to die. Just like in bestiality, if a man lay with a dog or animal, they both got to be put down. They ain't no good. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah. It
So
says,
now that's actual rape of this world. Go ahead.
it says, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he had humbled his neighbor's wife,
Right.
so thou shalt put away evil from among you.
Right.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel
Go ahead.
in the field, and the man force her and lie with her,
That's rape. Go ahead.
then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Right. Because he raped her, he forced her. That's actually rape. Okay, we're gonna show you it's a difference. Two kinds of rape. Go ahead.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing.
Same scenario. Don't do nothing. But she was forced. She was raped. Go ahead.
There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death.
Right.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slay him, even so is this matter.
Okay. So you got that part? Somebody, young woman that's betrothed, belong to somebody, and that man come in and throw her down, rip her clothes off, and force her. Then yeah, he's got to be put to death. But if she loves it, they both got to be put to death. Go ahead.
It says, for he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her.
Right. So it wasn't her fault. She's not held accountable. Go ahead.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed,
Now this is somebody a woman who doesn't belong to anybody. Go ahead.
and lay hold of her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
So now, that is the rape. Because he laid hold. Look up lay hold.
Right. And they got to also look that men back then was more rough, you know, men of war, you know, so men was more manly back then.
You ask any woman today, if she's digging on you, she wants you to take. I'm not saying on camera for a man to take women. I'm just saying if a woman is digging on you and you like her and y'all get together, she wants them rough hands. They might not admit it, but they do. Read that, tafaz.
The word
lay hold.
Lay hold is tafaz in the Hebrew, which means to catch, handle, lay hold, take hold of, to seize, will. To lay hold of, seize, arrest, catch, to grasp in order to wield you skillfully.
So this is not, hey, hold, wait a minute, baby. I got some very white I'm playing, and we're going to get together. No, he's talking. But it was lawful because he had to give the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. And in fact, before the KJV, you had the Young's Little translation. You had the the translation of 1382. There's a Bible. I'll go into older Bibles before the translations came here, and the word was lechery. It said if the man committed lechery, you could go to Texas Receptus, which means receive text. They got a bunch of lists of Bibles of what originally was in the scrolls. And the Bible of 1382 said lechery. And we look up the word lechery, it means to have sex. So if the man grabs it, you got it in translations? No, I'm talking about the Bible Hub, and it shows all the different translations. It says one that says if a man rapes her. There's quite a few of them. Yeah, but you have to go through them.
Yeah, it says she shall be his wife too. So
I mean, if you lay down with a woman, then
that's
she's automatically
your wife, right?
The late hold.
So when the man would do that act, that's his wife. He would have to take care of her. For, like the elder said, you would have to take care of her for the rest of her life.
unless adultery takes place.
No, I mean, you just learn.
So what if, no, I understand that. So if that man lays down with that woman, you said, forever.
Yeah.
But unless adultery takes place.
Right.
Oh,
That's
right.
And there were certain things that our people did back then you wouldn't do today.
Yeah.
You know? So we just, when we bring it out, we just say that was the vibration that was going on. Like for example, which he gonna get the other translations, right? But when we went into war, right, and we saw a beautiful woman that never got touched before, the scripture talks about you supposed to, cut off her hair, peel her nails. Is you gonna do that today? Hell no. But that was lawful for the men to do back then. So people think that I keep on saying this that you supposed to be a Roman Catholic, don't touch nobody. You know what I'm saying? Men was more manly back then. And that's all we say, man. We don't say none of us up here are rapists.
But that's what IUIC say about us. We're a bunch of rapists. That don't make sense either. Come on, man. Why would we be standing here with rapists?
Women ain't supposed to be just out and about. Scripture say, give not a wicked woman liberty to get abroad. Women ain't supposed to be out. You go to these other countries, they don't allow no women to do that. Right. That's why they fighting for the women's rights in these other countries. Right. They're supposed to be at home.
Yeah. All right, the brother got a scripture.
Yeah, got the Deuteronomy 22, 28 in the Wycliffe Bible. It says, if a man findeth a damsel who is a virgin that hath no spouse, and taketh and doeth lechery with her, and the thing cometh to the doom, if a man findeth a young woman who is a virgin, who hath no spouse, and he taketh hold of her, and doeth lechery with her, and the thing cometh to be known.
Right, that lechery. I'm trying to find it.
How would they know she's a virgin or not?
Oh, they would know. They would know. We're not in that order. First of all, about
took
attire.
They took the virginity.
Okay.
The women, when the marriage would get set up, the father would have the witch, the white seats and everything. This is why they put it all into these marriages and stuff like that too. The women be wearing white and all that, but the white is really
representation of cleanliness, I guess, a virgin.
It's going to be under the bed. And once they consummate the marriage, when sex consummates the marriage, okay, that's when the father takes that she's going to be into the seat. So that's how they would know that she was a virgin. We follow certain customs. They got that in the movies too. Certain movies.
Okay, I got it right here. In the new, this is in the NIV, believe it or not. Wow. The NIV. They said if a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and rapes her, and they be discovered. Then he'll give the father 50 shekels of silver. It's actually in the NIV translation.
That's crazy.
It's just that in the KJV version, they didn't mention the word rape. It's not just in the KJV either. It's one here in the Miriam Study Bible. If a man encounters a virgin who is not pledged to be married and seizes her. That's what we saw in Tobias. You got to go into the words.
Back then, you ain't had no police around.
I got another one, Salakia. New American Standard Bible. If a man finds a girl who is which she wouldn't be a girl, which is of age, who is a virgin, who is not betrothed, and he seizes her and has sexual relations with her, and they be discovered. I mean, it's all in damn near every translation. The NSAP. Another one here says rape, engaged. Oh, here we go. The Christian Standard Bible. It says if a man encounters a young woman, a virgin who is not engaged, take hold, which is lay hold on her, and rapes her. And they be discovered. Why is it saying it in all these translations?
What does it say in the 1611 version?
Same thing as the KJV. It says they hold. The KJV, in fact, you got a version called the 1599. What's it called? The Geneva Bible. Those are all, see, when they set up, the translators that set it up, they kind of changed some things the way they laid it out, because that wouldn't sound good for the people. This is why they put it in Latin with St. Jerome, you know, because that wouldn't be good for the people. Because when you go into history with your Eusebius and them, they didn't want the Old Testament because they didn't want the fear of God. So they laid out and put Latin inside the New Testament and kind of put a little prosperity in there. God loves all men, everybody. And Nate knows this. Nate knows a lot of it. Nate is not a fool. He knows the truth.
Well, we know God don't love everybody.
Right, well, you already in there. You know that. In so many different versions, one that say caught her. One that said right here, the NET Bible, suppose a man comes across a virgin who's not engaged and overpowers and rape her. That's what it says. Overpowers and rape her. You want to see it? Right here. It's in all the different translations. Read the New Heart English Version.
Those
You can scroll up and look at all the different versions.
That's why I say the righteous part after it, he shall give her with the 50 shekels of gold.
Right.
He shall take her to be a wife. He can't put her away.
Right.
You know, because you just rape her and you just let her go off. You allowing that.
Well, that's Americanized rape.
Yeah.
That's why right. That's why they put that in the movies today to demonize to take it part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in most translations, it says rape or
So you saying lay hold is just another form of rape?
That's it. That's it.
Because it said live with her, Richard going to just lay down with her. You know?
I mean,
we got a beautiful woman.
Yeah, it says it right
I
here.
mean, I see.
It's not going to lay hold on somebody. You're not just going to just sit there and just lay and just
Yeah. Let me just lay hold.
I mean, we want to have some intercourse.
There you go. Lecturing. Hey, what about King David when he was sick on his deathbed? What did they bring him? A young damsel. You got Israelite groups teachers. She was 19 years or 20 years old. Get the hell out.
So where's the age that's put on the damsel? Where's the age described for the damsel? So we can know how old is the damsel?
She could be.
How do we know?
It could be a range. She
Like,
could
how
be.
do
You're not going to know.
Where does it say the age of the damsel?
that gets specific.
You gotta
Power
be
of
specific
flower
because
age.
the damsel, you never know.
We're
You
gonna
never know.
get it.
I mean,
It's still not when. First of all,
I just want to know, how do we know?
we're gonna break it down. Go ahead.
There we go. 1 Corinthians 7:36. But if any man think that he behaves himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age.
So when he says his virgin, that means his possession. This is my woman. A woman ain't supposed to be. This is my man. This is my goddamn woman. That's why we love our women more than they love us, damn near. Because you don't want no one other man penetrating your woman. You know that. Nobody like that.
It says
Our rod's gonna come out the same size. You might get a man that got some porno shit going on, man. You know, you fall in and be like, what the hell happened in here? Go ahead.
it says if she passed the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will.
Now, when you look at the Games of Thrones, right? Remember the scene where the woman, the period came?
I've never seen it.
You have seen it. It's any of those ancient shows that go into even the Dark Ages, Middle Ages, so we'll call it. And they would have blood on the sheets, and she jumped up. I don't want to be. I don't want to have Godfrey's baby. I remember that. Right? You see that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother. I ain't been question.
He just answered it earlier what age? So like, when I asked him what age a woman.
But I know that, but I want to know where in the scripture does it describe the age that a young woman could be. I mean, how do we know?
We don't know the exact age, and there's a reason. It's called moon cycles, right? The word moon comes from the word month comes from moon. When a woman have a cycle, her period, it's monthly. So this week it might be the 15th, the next week it might be the 19th, or the next week might be something else. So it's all according to biological of what her youth would be of age.
So like that, some women come on the cycle earlier than others, so it can't,
For the time, when you know they're young, because all women ain't no 20-year-old coming on a cycle at 20.
We just seen that as an example in that show, that Squid Game show. He was telling his mother, he said he don't really keep track of how old she is because she go off of the lunar, the moon.
Everything was we worked with the moon, like the moon Sabbaths, and everything was assigned in the time for us. So you'll have a woman that might come on a period at 12. One might come on at 14, kind of late. You have some come on at 8, 9, but they're not full periods. There are what they call that, premature periods.
Yeah.
And they might get a little spotty, but she's not quite ready yet. By the time she is 12 years old and come on a period, you can Google this stuff. We're not saying it. You can Google it and find out what the ancient age of women about when they got married. In fact, men was 12 years old when they got married. A lot of men, you could be 12 years old, you consider the man in ancient times.
They still do that in that Jewish
Yeah, the rats.
They do it over in West Africa. And plus, back in ancient times, the economy was set up, especially in ancient Israel. By the time we turned 11, 12, we probably already had a house, we had money saved, shekels of silver and gold. In this society, they don't allow you to work until you, 14, 15?
They try to get some of it right, but then they so messed up because they'll tell a young woman, like if you're a 30-year-old man, they'll say you can't have sex with a 14-year-old woman. That's pedophilia, right? Even though she agreed to it. But the same woman at 14 can have sex with a 17-year-old young man. And it's not his fault.
When the women be, around that time when they come on that they lose their virginity early any goddamn.
Hey, ask any woman. When they hit about 12, 13, and their hormones kicking, they ready for sex. Yeah. You know it and I know it. How many of them young women you know at 13 years old was hot their ass, man? Sweet 16.
Elementary school, not elementary school, middle school. And I'm boys, not girls.
Yeah.
Come on.
What do you think? What do you think prom means?
Promiscuous. So you go to the prom with this woman. What do you expect? You expect to get some at the end of the night.
All men do. That's why you got. That's why you get
That's
burned.
definitely how it's set up. That's definitely how it's set up.
Think about it, us men. That's how we are. Look at the animals. You leave your female dog in the middle of the yard. The boys are jumping in her fence to get to them. What make you think we ain't no different, man? But we're supposed to do it decently in order. We're not supposed to be raping anybody's, taking anybody's life. Which we don't teach to go out and rape nobody. I don't even know why they still harping on the doctor. We never taught to go rape no young women.
And those young women, they're not mature, you know.
And that mindset of a 12-year-old today is not. She's got a mindset of. I wouldn't even if a young woman came on to me. I'd be like, nah. I couldn't mess with.
Shit, most grown women got minds of
Thank you. So imagine a 12-year-old.
Right.
And I'll tell you this. You remember? You may be old enough to remember. They might still do. They always. You see the 5-6-year-old girl always want a doll. Why she always want a doll, man? And the mother give her a doll to play with, right? Because you're training her to be a woman. When you in school, right? You remember being in 8th grade or middle school? They always say, "Come on, young ladies." Wait a minute, they're 12, 13 years old. Why are you calling them young ladies? But everybody else want to call them girls. And remember Joseph, when he lied with Mary, Mary was a young woman. Joseph was kind of an older man. Mary might have been, what, 14, 15?
Yeah, they say Joseph probably was like
40, something like that?
Because by the time Yahweh Shah was, I believe, 30 or something, Joseph wasn't around. He was passing the spirit world. You know? So he had to have been up in there.
He was up in there to mess with that little young woman. But you can't, in this society, I would never agree with that. I would never say, hey, go out and take this up, a young damsel. We would never say, if you're a grown man like myself, older man, to mess with I couldn't even mess with an 18-year-old, to be honest. You know, my personal opinion. All of that, I can legally do that. But I wouldn't suggest any man, even like himself, to go mess with some 13-year-old girl. Because they are little girls, really, because their mindset ain't up ancient woman. So I don't know why they do no videos because they're coming against us. And we've done numerous of videos counteracting it. And he'll come on my page sometime. Man, we just trying to move forward, get out of this hell. But then, when you talking about us, when we do videos on you, you got a problem with it. But we're just telling you to do your research.
Definitely going to do my
research,
man. You know, that's why.
If you're meant to be with them, then you're going to go be with them. But may the Lord bless you and keep you and come to the truth. Right. That's all we can say.
That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get you the truth, man. I'm trying to walk my way through whatever
That's right.
I gotta walk my way through to get you where I need to get you.
That's right. We sat out here in the midst of prophesying and gave a whole lesson on it. That broke it down, went into the scriptures, went into the translations and everything.
Just tell me where I can find y'all.
Right. Great Millstone Israelite, GMS Israelite.
Channel.
My channel, give us a whole bunch of channels.
Right. It's pretty, yeah. YouTube.
Give them GMS Info Doc. Pastor Lamar channel.
Every Saturday.
GMS Baltimore works.
Get away, Sean. Get it with GMS Info Doc. I got it.
Yeah, info.
You can really,
Yeah,
you can really learn.
it's hard to come up.
It ain't about elders in transit too. Yeah, you know, try small channel.
You got it. Yeah.
GMS info.
There's a lot of things in general that the other Israelites can't say things, and they, you know, there's a reason why they don't get videos flagged either.
You know, that's a good point. When Nate video's gonna get flagged?
Yeah. No,
He did a video on us saying we raped 6-year-olds.
Yeah. That should be flagged.
That's in the scriptures. False accusation.
Yeah. That could even be marked as like bullying, cyberbullying. That could be marked as that too. Defamation. Yeah.
Look that up.
Misinformation.
You know, we know how sensitive YouTube is now when it comes to things like that.
But they don't never get their videos put.
Yeah, why are they flagging that shit?
Yeah, but like they run YouTube. Yeah. And league. They run that. They run that stuff. Oh no, yeah. You know, like I said, all through the grace of so through the spirit of the Lord,
Bring it up, brother.
I just found the etymology of lecture. It basically just says a desirous man. You know, all men, that's a man desire a woman. The scripture say a man love nothing more. So it's really it's not a it's not a negative connotation to it. You know.
Are you from Baltimore?
Yes.
Read that. That's a title at IUIC.
You gotta look like the mayor, man. From Baltimore.
Now, what man would really say it's okay to rape 6-year-olds? Come on.
Right.
Let's be real about that.
That sounds like somebody.
They reaching right here. That is wrong. And that's IUIC.
I wouldn't even watch that, like something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then there are people that follow them say, no, that ain't true. Y'all know.
Yeah.
well, I got 10K views.
Yeah, you got like 10,000 views on that.
People got
You know?
300 likes.
That's crazy.
Slandering your brother.
I wouldn't do that. We wouldn't even say that to them, man. We wouldn't even say that. We wouldn't say IUIC raping 5-year-old girls. Come on. And if somebody did do that in there, we can't hold them all accountable for that. We'll say it was just them, that particular person. That's no love. What happened to the second commandment, man? Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That's hatred. You're not supposed to hate your brother, man. That's pure hatred, man. There's no way I can deal with a group like that. You know, not saying that might have been just that particular video. You just have to go search yourself and pray, and may the Lord guide you where you need to be, brother. That's all to it. That's all to it. All right. All right. All right, no problem, man. All right. Hey, he came up. He was fighting for IUIC, man. But he will show you. I was ready in a second. I was ready to say, man, go ahead then. IUIC. But we went through. This is why it's important to know the scriptures. An important part to the scriptures. You know? He was trying to defend us into not the path of the wicked. No, it ain't talking about that. It's talking about a certain path you walk, like a particular path. Come on, man. Basically, don't hang around evil people. But then look at y'all. Y'all around here with nothing but evil people.
Oh, we separate, man. We hope. Among our people, among my people are found wicked men. Yeah, so that example is there. You know, among people that know that they Israel.
Jake a little stubborn. You know what it was, though? Because he was for IUIC. That also proves, like we're for Great Millstone. Somebody come up and get some Great Millstone going off to this. We're going to fight to defend it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know it and I know it. Nah, GMS ain't like that. You know, you're going to fight to defend what you he'll probably still join IUIC.
It's dangerous coming in, being you talking about you trying to find an Adam Abbott, you know, trying to find all these people. Lord will put you where you want you to be at, you know, but you gotta come up everybody do that. Yeah, you do. Because you know you gotta pray that you gotta pray that the Lord puts you on that right path. You know?
This spirit's a little raw. That's pretty much what it is.
A little raw. That's right. Who's that? It's an Isaiah. So hear a word behind you saying, this is the way. Walk you ran it to the right, walk to the left. You know, turn back from it. You know, so you can actually, when you come into the truth, you can actually hear a voice. You know, like I know from my personal testimony. You know, when I first came into knowing that he was a cigar, you know? When I first woke up to the truth, I was always watching Great Millstone, and I actually had a voice that came to me in my sleep that said, you know, you're not learning false prophecy. I was only watching Great Millstone, you know? So you can actually hear what, you know, if the Lord can actually send an angel your way to actually guide you, you know what I'm saying, on where you want you to be, you know? It's all a message, you know, because that's what the angels are. They're a message. They'll send to guide you on that path where you got to be at.
I got a scripture. Ephesians 4:14. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie to wait to deceive. That's Nathan. Listen to it. You know what I mean?
You sound just like that.
Yeah, I got a scripture. This is Luke 11 and 9. And it says, and I say unto you, ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asks receives, and he that seeks finds, and to him that knocks it shall be open. If a son so asks bread of any of you that is a father, will he give him a stone? Or if he asks a fish, will he give for a fish? Will he for a fish give him a serpent? Or if he so ask an egg, will he offer him a scorpion? If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, right? It says, if you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, give the Holy Spirit to them that ask him? You know, so if you sincere, you know, the Lord, you pray to the name, you know, he got the name, you know, pray to the Lord, to you to ask to guide you on that path.
They was looking for an excuse though. We talk about the name, but wait a minute. Man, that's because it's shocking to his system. It's a shock, you know. He just knew the name was the shit. Matthew 7:14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. And the scripture also in Titus says, to try to convince the gainsayers or something like that. Titus 3. What's that? What I just read? Yeah. Matthew 7:14. Yeah. What it says, convince the gainsayers. Titus 3:9. Looks like.
Oh, I got the definition for few.
Okay. Titus 1:9.
It says little, a small, few, of number, multitude, quantity, or size. So elect. It says of time, sort, of degree or intensity, light or slight. Right. There's not that many people that's going to it.
Right. And we set up in because he was asked, and that's why Paul said that Peter 3:15. He always ready to give an answer to everyone to ask you a reason of hope. Yeah. Not just any questions. You talk about black conscience in a black community. Yeah. I ain't gonna keep asking you. I can't answer those questions on that. You know, black. Hey, you know, it's a black community. Sell out the black community in a second.
I got some more on that word few, right? It says a small number of, used to emphasize how small the number is, right? Synonyms. It says not many, hardly any, scarcely any, one or two, a handful of, little, scarce,
Stairs.
few and far between, uncommon, rare.
That means it's gonna be like Israel was home. Yeah, you know, it's gonna be just a lot of people just being put to death, man. Sifted out, put to death. That's why you got to be careful with it.
No, I was just saying, like far as the thermonuclear destruction too, it's like that's a lot of people. Yeah, they say like as a drop compared to a wave, you know. So is the end of the world. You know, it's gonna be a lot of people.
You know, you got the little shelves in the oven with the little grills on. It's a lot of plates that go into that oven. It's burning fire, man. So the Most High got a big plate set up, a big oven set up, man. That the scripture says so burn is an oven. You know, and them ovens get hot. Right. Go ahead and read that Titus 1:9.
This is Titus 1:9. It was raining earlier. This is Titus 1:9. It says, Paul, a servant of Yahweh Shah, or Yahweh Socket, an apostle of Yahweh Shah, according to the faith of Yahweh's work, Yahweh's elect, and the acknowledging of the truth, which is after Yahweh, of the godliness, in hope of eternal life, which Yahweh that cannot lie, promised before the world began.
Titus 1:9?
Yeah.
Not 3:9. Was it 3?
Yeah, that's 3:9. This is Titus 3:9. But avoid foolish questions.
I know it's the Tigers.
Yeah, I got it right here. Tigers 1-9.
What it does? That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, it's like the last word.
Oh, okay, man. I was reading 1-1. Sorry, that was my fault. Yeah, I got it. This is Titus 1-9. Holding fast the faithful word as he has been taught, that he may be able to, by sound doctrine, both to exhort and convince the gainsayers.
No, that's what we're doing. We're trying to convince the game. He kept coming on. No, it's this, that. Anyway, we can close up, brother. This lesson was edifying. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostle, bro. Rock powerful one. Rage the storm, man.
About to have a raging storm right now.
No, I didn't want to see the apostle. Shalom. Blah, 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 blah.